Yo, people always ask me what kind of frames I'm rocking. I've been rocking Caddis for a couple years. They make amazing progressive readers, which I wear. Also, they make sunglass readers, anti-glare, anti-smudge coating, anti-scratch, and anti-aging. That's why I look mad young when I wear them. I'm just kidding. But they make amazing frames. Caddis, so stoked to have you guys part of the podcast. You can go to caddislife.com/Toby10 and get $10 off your first purchase. Stoked. Thank you, Caddis. Welcome to the fam. Yo, Liquid Death, thank you so much for hydrating all my guests, taking care of me and my family and my friends. Love your water, love your brand, love what you stand for, love what you give back to the community. If you want to learn more about Liquid Death and how it started, listen to episode 115 with the co-founder, owner, and creator of Liquid Death, Mike Cesario. Just a punk rock skateboarding kid from Delaware with a dream. It's an incredible story, incredible journey. They have now blessed me with my own code. So if you go liquiddeath.com/Toby, you get free shipping on any items you order from liquiddeath.com. Thank you so much, Liquid Death. Death to plastic, murder your thirst. Stay hydrated. You know H2O saves lives.
Not.
Check.
My shoes are dirty.
Welcome to the One Life One Chance podcast. I'm your host, Toby Morse. Today I got my brother from another mother sitting next to me. It's not Derek Green. He's on tour. I got Chappelle Lacey, who retired last week from podcasting, and now he's back on with me.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, what am I? What?
Thank you for being here,
You're
Chappelle.
like, this is all I need from you.
No, I appreciate you being here with me. I love having you hanging out with me, man.
All right.
People love to hear your voice and hear you
saying
talk.
I retired from podcasting like I'm old.
I know.
I didn't say that. I retired.
What did you say?
I quit.
Okay, same shit. And then sitting across from me, the one, the only, Miss Geo Kwan.
Hey.
Thank you for being here.
I'm so honored to be here. I'm so excited to be here. Grateful.
I know. We met a couple years ago at this dinner that Bobby Hundreds put together of like all of his friends or something like that.
Yeah. It was so random.
It was.
Bobby Hundreds is the freaking connector. He's the man. Like, I look at myself and I'm like, I'm a pretty dope person. And then I look at Bobby and I'm like, man, I ain't shit compared to Bobby. Bobby's the man.
So basically it was this, I don't know, it was a party. It was just a get together of all these people at this one table. It was all food of all different walks of life, of all his different friends from different parts of the world. Tattoo artists, all kinds of people. And they were there. That's where we met them. It's cool.
Yeah. We
Pretty
met.
awesome.
And I think this is the first time we're like in the flesh.
Yeah.
Wait, so have you met her husband?
Not only that one time.
Oh, only that one time.
How rad is that?
Yeah.
He trusts me. He trusts me to be here.
Yeah.
But then we start following each other and you get to know each other through social media and stuff like that. You know?
Yeah.
It's pretty beautiful. That's the amazing thing about it.
It is.
That's positive thing about it.
Absolutely. That's one of the things I love about social media is the fact that like it makes the world really small and like you get like a really like an interesting glimpse into people's lives.
Yeah.
So I know when I was like I saw yours, I'm like, holy crap, you're so rad. And like and then I got the cool glimpse of seeing you as a husband and a father. And that's when I'm like, I'm hooked. This dude's so rad.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's the power of social media.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I wrote Bart back was because I reached out to I was like, oh, Toby follows this too. I was like, let me.
Wow.
He saw a stand-up clip of mine.
That's
and then
so rad.
he messaged me. And then I was like, Toby, you know this guy? And usually, like, if Toby's following him, he must be cool.
That's so sick.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah. So then I wrote him back based off of Toby.
This is all because of Bobby.
It is, man.
It literally is
Look what
all
Bobby
Bobby.
Hundreds
Yeah, man. Bobby Hundreds, man.
That's the man.
I definitely feel like social media during the past 2 years was way more of a positive thing connecting with people around the world. Because everything was shut down. Everybody was just sitting still.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So people communicating, seeing how other people are going through it in different parts of the world. And stuff.
It
felt that way.
Yeah, it felt really interesting because, you know, the whole COVID shit happened and, like, the whole world stopped.
Yeah.
It was interesting to see how, like, the rich were living, too, because I'm like, holy crap, like, we're not that different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, shit, we're all humans experiencing the same thing together. It was such a very unique sliver in time where I'm like, fuck,
that's the first time, I mean, of our existence to where that's happened to where, like, the whole world is experiencing the same exact
all in a timeout together.
All in a timeout.
Isn't that wild? Because you read stuff like the Great Depression and you read like World War I and II and you're like, man, I can't imagine that. And then not to compare it by any means, but like a moment in time where it's all shared, especially right now, like we were talking about social media where everything feels kind of segmented and like broken apart and we're kind of like on different sides and shit.
Yeah.
Like to have that and be completely unified is pretty rad.
It was. And I think now it's like, because it was really political for a while. It was like every day there was something going on in the world, you know. But I feel like now it's, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's an interesting world online.
It is.
Know?
It is. And I try not to get too deep into stuff like that because it's really easy to go down like this dark hole depending on like where you are mentally. Like you can it can be pretty bad and it can be pretty heavy shit, right? And like everyone's posting things and just the amount of like the speed that people will repost like information and all this shit. It can get heavy.
That's always my curiosity with people when they're so heavy into that stuff. I go, how's your mental stability?
You know?
That's what I'm more curious about when you just see someone attacking things in a way to where it's just like they're so hardcore with this and it's wild. To be this has to be a thing that they say every day and they post every day about this thing. And meanwhile, most of the time they don't even really get any like love on the post. So it is why I'm always curious I'm like, what is your mental stability?
And are you like that when you walk out of your house and you're not on your phone?
Yeah.
Do you really go that hard? Are you really that serious about it? Do you really,
But during that time, like Chappelle came out with one of his comedy specials, and he said something that was super profound to me that really stuck with me that I'm like, I'm going to live in that way. So we all know Dave Chappelle, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know Chappelle.
Have you heard of him?
I think I've heard of him.
Okay, cool. He's like this little comedian guy. I mean, you may have not heard of him. But he came out, and like, we all know he doesn't carry a cell phone. Like, he's a very private dude. He lives like in a small town in Ohio.
So cool.
And he was like in his bit, he was just talking about how all he really wants to do is just keep his corner of the, his corner of the world beautiful. Yeah. And that's it. That's all you can really do, right? So I was like, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we put this pressure on ourselves to like think we have to like, I don't know, I guess not necessarily control everything as much as just like feel like we have to be a part of everything. And it's like, hey, sometimes just take care of your world right here. Yeah. Just do that.
Yeah, and that's why I look up to you so much, Toby, because like for me, if home is peace and like you have a really dope relationship with your significant other and your kids and your family and stuff, I'm like, dude, you're rich already. Like your life is dope.
Yeah, I do agree about that as far as like it's not about money or stuff like that. It's about what fulfills your heart, what makes you happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like doing what you love and being around the people you love and good friends and positive people. And that's the most important thing, not money. Because you can't buy that shit. There's people with millions and millions of dollars who are totally miserable, don't have any of that stuff.
Yeah, do you know any of those? Do you want to talk about
them? I do know some. I do know some, but it doesn't really mean shit. It doesn't really mean anything, you know?
Yeah, I know.
It's just like how you live your life.
But I'm always impressed by the people that don't let money or success change them. Like they know they have a lot of money, but they're still the same person. Those are the people I'm most impressed with.
Are these
because
people,
that's not easy.
Are these people like mega famous, mega rich?
Yeah, actually know a couple. I had some on the podcast.
Sick.
Yeah,
actually, yeah.
Very humble. I know some ones that they just don't.
They don't forget where they came from. They get all that stuff. Like
that's super sick.
I got a lot of very non-Hollywood actor friends for sure that come from punk, skateboarding, surfing, an underground community. They had some success, really big success.
Yeah, not very loud about what they have and who they are.
Yeah. Because
not saying people can't show off what they earn.
I mean, there are people that do shit for the love of it, and then if it works, it works. If they get a lot of money, it works. Or like if you continue to have a longevity, but you're just getting by, and people are happy doing that. They do what they love, and they're paying their bills.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't have extravagant fucking houses and a million cars and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just be comfortable.
Yeah, and that's super rad too.
Yeah. It's got a good balance,
Yeah.
So you're born in Los Angeles?
Born and raised in Los Angeles. Yep. That's all I know.
What part of LA?
East LA.
Okay.
East
so
Los.
Grew up Mexican, 100% Mexican, even though people will be like, wait, you're not Asian? And now that I've married an Asian man, I took his name, Kwan. So now they're like, you have to be like Haba or something. But no, 100% Mexican, grew up in East Los. Two parents that just came here from Mexico trying to make a living and, hustled and kept me away from all that like cholo and like hood life.
Yeah, I read some things about like they wouldn't even let you really go out and play. You stayed in the house a lot and didn't really go out and play. Yeah.
Yep, that was
strict.
It was wild. Like when I don't really think about shit in the past, but like when I really do think about it, I'm like, holy crap, my parents are actually pretty studs. 'Cause like we have our house, they paid it off. But like around my neighborhood is nothing but like projects and like this is where when I was growing up, like the neighborhood kids would like spray paint like a basketball court in the middle of the street, didn't give a fuck that there was like cars trying to come by. They're like, we're playing ball, dude. You fucking go around us.
Wow.
Like toddlers walking around in like diapers. Like our house would get shot up, you know, just because of like gang violence around us. Like my mom was gardening one time and there was like a stray bullet that just kind of like went over her head. Like it's pretty gnarly. And like,
but you stay away from all that. Your mom kept you pretty safe and she was very strict and sheltered.
Like, during the time that I was living it was very lonely for sure.
Yeah.
And I like resented them so much because I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I just want to go outside of like our gates, you know?
No brothers or sisters?
I do. I have an older sister, an older brother, and then a younger sister. But like the age gap is so wild. Like my older sister is like 15 years older than me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. My brother 10 older than me. And then my little sister 6 years younger. Wow. So yeah, it's pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
And like my mom was a teacher in a different school district. So she was able to get me into that school district, which was kind of like middle class, upper middle class. And I grew up over there. So like Montebello, Monterey Park, like the 626.
Yeah.
And because of that, I never really had to interact with like the hood side that like my house was in.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. It blows me away because I'm like, I don't know how like my parents dealt with that, you know, because it's so easy for me to just sneak out of my house or like, you know, it's easy to get into trouble. It's not that hard.
But you weren't rebelling and trying to do shit like that? You really just follow the rules?
Yeah, I mean, they did a good job of scaring me enough to where I wasn't too curious. I think I just kind of saw the people around me and I'm like, yeah, I don't think I want to talk to these people.
Yeah.
Damn, you got some dope parents.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I hated them, man.
I mean,
I hated them.
Well, I mean, that's a beautiful thing to, you know, be able to protect,
that is,
you know, your children in an environment like that.
Yeah.
You know, and just try to make the best of everything. That's not easy.
Because if your mom wasn't
amazing.
a teacher in that district, who knows? You know what I mean? You might have just went to the school there.
Yeah, absolutely. But like, yeah, now that I'm a parent, I'm grateful. You know, now that I'm older, I can see it. But like growing up or like, you know, when you're saying you have a son that's 19 years old.
Yeah.
And when I was 19, I was definitely like, fuck these people, you know?
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I'm just like, I'm not trying to do bad shit. Like, talk to me and you'll figure out who I am as a kid.
Yeah. So they didn't trust you?
No, not at all.
But you were a good kid.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Did you get good grades and stuff? Like, you doing good in school?
I did good, like, in junior high and, like, middle school and stuff because they had such a heavy hand in my learning. But as soon as I hit high school, I'm like, whoa, a little bit more freedom. I'm like kind of an adult. You can't tell me what to do. Yeah. Like I can go out a little bit.
Were you allowed to date and have boyfriends and stuff?
No, absolutely not.
Damn.
I couldn't do shit. Like I couldn't do
they really
anything. It was very much controlled.
What's amazing is you know, based off what you're saying, usually, you know, when the parent like really keeps their kid so like just away from like everything, those are the kids that always go the craziest.
Craziest, dude.
That's Bart. Bart got kicked out of so many elementary schools, middle schools, high schools because there was just so much control. But I don't know how my parents did it that I wasn't like, fuck you, I'm going to do the complete opposite. Maybe I was a little bit smart where I'm like,
yeah.
I think
that's
do you think it's because you like you literally saw all the bad?
I don't know if I even knew that it was bad. Like I understood it was like the way it was perceived back then, at least, was like it's lower class, right? And I think I just had a direct comparison now because I was going to a different school district, which meant a different city, which meant I could see different houses that didn't have bars on their windows. And I'm like, oh, shit, this is wild.
Yeah.
And because I had an older sister, one of the rules is that, you know, ladies can't move out of their house until they're married. And also, if you want to live in this house under my rules, not only are you respecting my rules, but you're also you also have to go to school. If you don't go to school, you got to get the fuck out. Was the thing. Like you have to go to college. So that was like pretty drilled into us. So because she's 15 years older, when I saw her be that example, I just thought like, oh, that's the path to take.
Yeah.
So your older sister was.
Yes. So she went to school. Okay. She graduated with a master's. Like so, and then she got married. So she followed the steps that my parents had been like drilling into all of us.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, okay, it works. So I get it. I get the path. There's a traditional path. You go to school, you get good grades, you go to college, you get your degree. You get a good job, you buy a house, or you get married, you buy a house, and it has to be in that order.
Okay, so even though they were tough, you saw the positive result.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, it makes sense. Cool, yeah. I get it.
That's dope.
Wow. So, and when you graduated, what did you want to do?
When I graduated high school,
I
didn't know anything that I wanted to do. I just knew that like I needed to go to college. Like I just knew that was the next step.
Did you want to move out, like bad, or you were comfortable at that point?
I think so at that time, I just knew what the steps were, which was I have to go to college.
It's crazy.
I don't
it's
have
just like strategically planned out.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't have any money. Like, I know in the real world you have to pay for shit.
Yeah.
So as soon as I could start working, I started working. So I just couldn't wait because that meant freedom to me. So like I had my own plan in my head of like, I need to work, get money, and then once I get money, I need to get a car because a car meant wings, you know, like I could fly.
Yes.
So then,
what was your first job? Do you know?
Yes. So I worked at a bookstore / coffee shop, juice shop, and it was a college bookstore. So like every semester, it was just popping. Like the first week, everyone's trying to get a book.
Yeah.
You know, so it was just nuts. And I was working full time, and I was playing sports full time, and I was going to school full time. But like I did like the JC route because I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like, do you remember the I Get You, I think it's called, or like where they tell you like the roster of like classes that you can take?
Okay.
I literally remember going like, I don't know what the fuck I want to do, and I'm like, science, no, I'm not good at that. Math, no, I'm not good at that. Engineering, no. Business, oh, okay, I think I like business, and I'm like, oh, should I do marketing? Marketing, does that mean like ads? Fuck it, I'm gonna sign up for marketing, and that was my major. Like that's how I picked it.
That's how you picked it.
Yeah, that was it.
That's the craziest thing to me.
I love that.
How stupid is that?
I feel like most kids going into college, like think that way. It's like I guess I like biology.
Yeah.
You know, like you know. Whereas I think for us, like I mean, I dropped out.
Fuck, I didn't go to college.
You know,
Smart.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you probably just like
I barely made it out of
so
school. Music. I just went to music.
Leaned into what you were
That's
already doing.
dope. I wish I had that. Like, how gnarly is it to think that a child, right, can like pick a major or a thing that they're going to do for the rest of their life and make this huge financial investment on?
Oh my God.
Right then.
That blows my mind.
Yeah.
It is very mind blowing. And then it didn't really hit me until you were like, so I just looked at a piece of paper and just
Literally, that's all I did. I was like, fuck, I have no idea. I had like zero guidance. I'm like, I don't know. My parents aren't going to help me with this shit. Like, my sister was off doing her own thing because she was just older.
So you said sports. You playing basketball too and soccer?
No, but thank you. No, I played volleyball. I didn't.
Okay,
I
thought
like
you did basketball. We didn't like it so much or something. That's what the internet says.
Okay. So they obviously, because I'm 5'11".
Yeah.
So all the coaches are always like, "Hey, have you ever tried basketball? You want to play?"
Same height, by the way.
Nice. I know our vision is different for sure. And they wanted me to try out. I tried out, and I was like, "Fuck contact sports. I hate it."
Dang.
But volleyball was it because you're just in charge of your own little section.
And you killed it in volleyball?
I did all right. I don't think I killed it, but I did all right to be on the team for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes. I did play it in college, or I got on the team in college, but it was either like make money and go to school, or like play ball and go to school. And I'm like, I'm trying to make money.
Yeah. So you start working right off the jump, just working?
Yeah. I started working. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I ended up quitting that bookstore. And then I was like, all right, so if I want to do this like marketing thing, I have to get into some like corporate shit.
Yeah.
Because that's all I knew. I didn't like business to be meant like you have to own a physical building. Like how ignorant is that? So I'm like, eventually I want to get into business, but like I don't have enough money to buy my own building. It's stupid,
so
right?
Crazy.
It's
crazy.
So stupid.
And you're not dating at all, nothing like that. No boys.
Absolutely, I'm dating.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I'm a long-term dater though, so like I wasn't like getting it in anywhere. I was just like, I was the type of chick that was like, oh, we want to go. You want to date me? All right. So let's see where it goes in 3 months. Let's just talk. And after 3 months, and then I might go out with you.
Oh.
Did you show the thing in the back of your head about like can't move out until you get married type of thing still then?
I've always been the black sheep of our family.
Okay.
So that really wasn't a thing.
That.
Hey, thank you.
I think there's just 3 of us right here, just black sheep.
We're literally all in black shirts too. I love it.
Yeah.
So like for me, I'm like, okay, I get where your rules are at.
Yeah.
But that just didn't make sense because it just felt like very like controlling.
Forced.
It felt forced. It felt like I didn't have an option in this. It felt weird.
Yeah.
And the way Mexican culture is, at least traditionally, is it's very patriarchal. So like the man's the head of the household. He's the one that makes the rules. You know, the wife is a little bit more submissive, has to follow what the man says and stuff. And my mom very much followed that rule. Okay. Even though she's strong in her own way, there was a lot of times growing up where I would see them talk about things, and I'm like, no, Mom, like we talked about things on the back end, like why don't you stand up to him, you know, type of thing. And I really hated that, like she didn't it felt like she didn't have a voice, and that really pissed me off. So I think I'm like, fuck that, I'm not gonna be like my mom. Even though my mom's rad as shit and she's so strong in her own way that I see it now, but like growing up, I think she was like a big influence of something I didn't want to be like.
So how did you, I guess I'm just trying to understand. So how did you find that setting those kind of like boundaries and that foundation when it came to like dating? It's like, okay, let's talk for 3 months. And then I might like, how did you discover that? Was that discovered just based off your household, how you grew up, or?
I don't know.
That's an interesting take. Not too many. That's a rarity. For people to take especially when it comes to the dating world, because it's like, it's a new exciting thing. You're with this person, and you know.
I never really, I don't know if it's very calculated. Like I don't have like a straight answer to that.
Oh, okay.
But it was definitely one of those where I felt like I was always so different. Like I just felt like, even in high school or just school, I just felt like I couldn't relate to a lot of people. It felt like, I don't know, I always felt like I needed to change a lot of myself to fit into certain groups in school. So I always felt like if I'm going to date someone, it needed to be someone that felt like I can really connect with. And it could be one of those where I just felt like I didn't connect with a lot of guys.
Yeah.
Were
you into music and stuff too? You going to concerts? And
Absolutely, I was into music. Loved anything music. Growing up, I was really into like 80s rock.
Nice.
Like I love like the Smiths, the Ramones, like then I got into like more 70s stuff. Like I was totally into like the Doors, Led Zeppelin. Like I was such a weird kid, man. Like this was during the time when cassettes were a thing. So I remember like I didn't have money to buy music. So this is when you had like, you're like waiting for the stereo to, or like the radio to play your song, and then you press record and you start making like your own mixtapes and stuff.
Take it off the radio.
And you had to like time it perfectly, like stop recording, you know?
Especially if the radio announced like the song was about to come up, you're like, oh, here's my chance, and you're just waiting.
Kids will never know.
They will never know.
That was magical.
Never know. Cassettes were the shit. Yeah, but because I was like on lockdown, I like to call it, I was always listening to the radio, and music was like a thing that was like always connected to it. To the point where like I would call like radio stations to like try to win tickets and stuff.
Get you out of the house to a concert.
So like I remember winning a lot. And that's how like I ended up at the Warped Tour. Remember I sent you like I sent you a poster, and I was like, "Oh shit, you were actually there." Like we were kind of already there together.
I don't know, the 2000s
maybe. Maybe like 2001 or 2000 or something.
Crazy.
That's when Warped Tour was so sick.
It was.
It
was popping.
And I won tickets, and I was like, "Mom, I gotta go." And like maybe that's why I'm good at business now, where I'm like I had to pitch them like the whole thing of like why I needed to go, and like the benefits and like the costs and like everything. You know, and she actually let me go.
Yeah.
I probably had to be home by like 8:30 or whatever, but
still.
Yeah.
Wow.
I even interned at I can't even remember now. It was off. It's like close to Universal Music. I interned there for a little bit, because I thought I wanted to get into music, but I don't know what happened there. Maybe I got into like hanging out too much. I think I was so thirsty for any type of freedom or like friend interaction that I'm like, fuck it, I'm not gonna go with it.
Did you want to play music too, or sing or anything like that, or no?
No, not really. I don't know what I wanted to do.
I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I think it was more so I was really chasing freedom.
Yeah.
Like I was just really chasing like life experiences, because I just felt so deprived.
Yeah.
Where I was
very sheltered growing up, and then you
absolutely. And I was telling my mom, like one of my arguments was like, hey, like you think I'm gonna go and try to be promiscuous and like sex and drugs and all this stuff? I'm like, but you raised me. Like, you think you raised someone that's like that?
Yeah.
And I remember she got stumped. She's like, well, it doesn't matter. Just fuck, you can't go. But I remember I really wanted to go like art shows and concerts, and like I just wanted to get enriched, you know, with just anything art,
culture, and life. Yeah.
And I was trying to convince her, like, I'm not trying to go to a party. Like, those are kind of lame.
Yeah.
You know, like you go to one party and you've gone to all of them. It's like the same shit.
Were you like drinking and doing drugs or anything back then?
100%.
Oh.
Oh shit.
100%.
Based off the way this story was going, I was like, oh, she probably didn't do anything.
I know.
I keep an open mind, all right?
Okay.
Yeah. So that started in high school, probably.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I was really curious about weed. I remember I'm like, oh, the cool kids kind of do weed. And I remember I had a best friend.
Weed.
Yeah, I know, right? Such a loser. I had a best friend in junior high, and like it was just us two, and we were both geeks. But then when I went to high school and I started like meeting like what I thought was cool people, like the cool group, they were smoking weed. And I was like, dude, do you want to try weed? She's like, no, because she's like a 4-point whatever student. Like her parents are like on her. And I'm like, I guess we can't be friends because I'm trying to smoke weed. Yeah, so I got into that for a little bit. But yeah, it didn't really go anywhere. It was just fun. And it got to the point where I was just kind of smoking by myself.
Damn.
And then I was like, this is kind of not a good path. And I just kind of stopped.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I went back on and off, you know, but like, I mean, that's just kind of the extent.
But no
like,
crazy drugs and shit like that.
Nah. I like to challenge myself. And I've always told myself, like, mind over matter. Like, I'm not going to get addicted to shit. Like, I'm in control of everything that I do. So
I love that.
I try to preach that.
Yeah.
You were one of those kids that was always in deep thought.
I think so. And I thought everyone was too. You know that?
Yeah.
And it blew me away that I discovered that doesn't happen to a lot of people. And I just discovered this like maybe 5 years ago. And I'm like, what? You're not in your head all the time asking questions and questioning your behavior and like you're not doing that? They're like,
well,
no.
just to hear all that you're saying, like, yeah, you're like, I'm not trying to party. You're like, parties are lame. Like, you, like, to discover that, especially at an age where it's like, yeah, we get to party. Like, people just want to do it.
Yeah.
And you're just
Can't
like,
wait
I
to
mean,
do
it's
It's
whatever.
fun. Don't get me wrong. Like,
yeah.
I like to have a good time and I like to party with my people.
Yeah.
But like,
it's not like your main course.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
it felt so empty. Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, that's not really my vibe.
Yeah, if you're doing it by yourself too, because you spend a lot of time, seems like by yourself in the house,
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah.
So time to think, all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Were you journaling or have a diary or writing things down?
I thought you were going to be like, was I jerking off? I was like, oh shit, we're going there? I mean, I guess.
No.
Podcast, turn it up. One life, one chance,
like,
baby.
Did you
let's
write a
go.
lot? Because it seems like you almost, not like you're in prison,
Yeah.
but you're always home.
I was in prison,
taking
man. You
notes
call
and-
it that.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't
Okay.
journaling. Music was definitely my escape for sure.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
I definitely got into a lot of music and listening to a lot of different, like, just kind of escaping in that way.
So I guess my question would be, so you're not like your siblings at all?
Not at all. At all.
Are they now, are your siblings a little bit more like each other? Like, even though like you're like kind of, you know, the black sheep?
In what way?
Just like for me, I'm far, far different from my siblings, but they're all kind of similar. You know, they've all kind of connected a little bit.
Like, you mean like you made moves and they didn't make moves? Like that?
Not necessarily that. It's just like my style and like the things I listen to. Like, I've obviously went more to the punk rock route, the skating route. Like, I was only in my family that was doing that. But I was like, oh, there's more to the world. It's not just what is here. And they kind of just like chill in their world. That's what I was what I'm.
Yeah. Like,
try to make sense of that question.
Yeah. Definitely don't relate to a lot of them. And we just didn't have really healthy relationships. Like, we weren't really tight like that. I think it was like the age gap, and then my parents both being like just trying to survive and work and make money for the family and stuff.
Yeah.
That like my older sister was like definitely a mom figure to me. So yeah, it wasn't one of those where like she's my best friend, and I wasn't like my little sister's best friend either, because she's like a super artist and very introverted, and if you see her art, she's like, oh, it's destroyed. I gotta throw it away. So yeah, definitely, it felt like I was an only child.
I feel like that too, to be honest. And I feel like my two older brothers, I love my two older brothers. They did a lot for me, but I think they're tight. They're definitely a little crew. You know what I mean?
That's
I'm definitely the black sheep out of the three. You know?
No,
but they got me to punk and skateboarding and all that shit. But they both like, I think they're more bonded because they were older when my dad died and I was too young, and they were the older brothers who really knew my dad. They have like a lot of things to bond on, you know? And they're kind of stepping up as like the dads of the house when my mom was working several jobs, you know, to raise 3 boys.
Yeah.
So I give them so much love for that. But I do feel like I am, even when I just hang out with them, I feel like just the oddball. I don't know why I always felt like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we're into the same shit. It's just, I don't know, it's different.
And you were in a band with one of your brothers.
Exactly, for like 20 years. But I don't know. Maybe it's a no party thing that I don't party. You know what I mean? They party. Maybe that could be it. But
isn't that so interesting that we're raised from like the same parents?
Yeah.
Right? And then we just turn out so different.
Completely, man.
Yeah.
It's wild because my mom like will tell me like I did the exact same thing. Obviously she didn't, right? But like she's like I did the exact same thing with all of you guys. Like why are you guys all so different?
See, she had all organized. She wanted, right? It's almost like everyone exactly the same, raised in the same way.
Well, I don't know. I feel like that's the default, right? Like you kind of just again kind of going back to, you know, where they're at, like new country. Like she was here since she was 17. Let me paint a better picture. But like they came here when they were like in high school.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they didn't have any formal like real education. So like they're just like, we got to survive. We got to pay the bills. I'm going to, you know, like it's not one of those where like a Full House moment when you do something bad and they're like, let's talk about it. It's like, no, you're going to get your ass beat and I just got to keep moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was one of those. So it's not very calculated in that way. It's more so like I'm a provider and I'm responsible for you. I'm going to make sure you have clothing, you go to school, and you're fed. Outside of that, like we're not going to have heart-to-heart conversations. I don't have time for that shit.
And I get that, respect that for the time. But then when you become a parent, I feel like we're so connected to our children. We're so emotional, compassionate. We have all the conversations. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you're talking about things all the time. It's way different, you know?
Yeah, now it is. I feel like me with my son at least, it's just I don't know. I feel like I'm giving him what I wish I had.
Yeah.
So I'm giving him so much affection and attention and we're having conversations and it just blows my mind that a 4-year-old is so fucking smart and like we get to talk and I'm like, holy shit, I made this. Like, what is happening?
Isn't it crazy?
It's weird.
Yeah, look, I made this. It's crazy.
It still blows you away?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, you made this human. He's like driving a car and working and dating a girl and all this, you know what I'm saying? All this stuff. It's like, it's pretty wild, man.
You don't have any kids?
I don't have any kids.
Okay, cool.
It goes by fast, though. It feels like it goes by fast, you know?
I'm not ready.
And you can see, well, I'm 52, so it's like when you have kids and you get older and the kids are growing, you just see it just reality of life and where you're at and how much more time you have. It's kind of morbid, but it's crazy when you think about things like that. You know?
Yeah.
Because you want to be here forever. Like you want to be here when they're my age, looking over and all that stuff. But whatever.
Dude, last year, during like lockdown and stuff, we were all spending so much time at home that like my husband had caught COVID, so he was like isolated.
I remember that. I remember seeing that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was just me.
He was in the room. He got. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So it was just me and my son, and I remember we were cooking, and it's so funny that you bring this thing about death, right? Because like I've always been aware that we're all gonna die, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think I ever really believed it. You know what I mean? Like it's not something that I'm constantly thinking about.
No.
And it was literally at that moment, chopping carrots or some shit with him that I'm looking at him, and I just started crying, and I'm like, holy crap, this is the only time I'm ever going to live this exact moment. Yeah. I'm getting weird, I know, but this is the only time I'm going to live this moment. And I'm like, holy shit, I'm going to die. And it like really hit me. Then I'm like, oh shit, like I don't know how I'm going to die, but that's a guaranteed I'm going to fucking die. And it like
it's so fucked if you think about it. Yeah. It really is, because that's part of life.
It's morbid as fuck, but it's what life is.
I know, like we're not here forever. We're like here temporarily. It's fucking crazy, man.
I can't believe it.
It's so fragile too.
Yes. And I'm like, fuck, what am I doing with my life? And I'm like, fuck it. Anything that's not a fuck yes, it's a fuck no. And since then, I've more so than ever, I'm like, I'm not going to waste my time doing bullshit or being bullshit or being around bullshit or hearing bullshit. I'm like, fuck it.
Yeah. That's a big movie, guys. So you went to Vegas during the pandemic. Yeah.
Yeah. We moved out there.
And you love it.
I love it for what we needed it to be.
Totally.
So out here,
bigger space too, for sure.
Yeah. So during the pandemic, like we have a gym in LA, and obviously all those things were the first to get shut down, like restaurants, gyms, and it just felt like we really had no support. Like it just felt like they were like, "Fuck it, you can't make the rent, then oh, well. Yeah. You know, like it just, I know there was like PPP things going around or whatever, but like it wasn't an easy process. Like anything that involves the government is always like you're jumping through loops and shit. And we just felt so unsupported out here that we're like, wait, why are we paying all these premiums? And then we would see how other states and countries and stuff were handling the situation.
Oh, yeah.
And we were just like, this is stupid. Like, I don't like to complain about things. Like, if I'm going to complain about it and I hear myself complaining about it, then I'm the only one that's responsible to stop my complaining.
Yeah,
you know?
or do something about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm like, am I just going to keep bitching about, like, what I don't like? It's like I'm expecting other people to change it. So I'm like, nah, I think it's time to go. Damn. And it's rad that I have a partner who thinks the same way. Where it's like
amazing.
And it's rare.
Yeah. It is.
So it was really cool that like we were able to discuss it, and we we're just like, okay, what's the worst thing that could happen? We hate Vegas. Then what? We come back. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
So we told our family, and of course everyone thinks we're fucking crazy. But I think it's expected at this point because we're all the black sheep, and they're like, of course you would.
Yeah.
So they were just like, yeah, do what you got to do. And we just left.
Yeah. And you've been there for a year almost?
Yeah, we've been there for a year. I like it because it's slow. So I've never liked Vegas. I always think of Vegas and I only think of the Strip.
Yeah, me
too.
100%.
And it's trash. It's dirty.
Yeah.
You have like people that don't respect it because they're just tourists.
Yeah.
But I like to give this analogy now. It's like how often do you hang out like on Hollywood Boulevard?
Never.
Right?
It's a good point.
Yeah,
it's the same shit, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, we never interact with the Strip. We're on, like, the completely opposite side. And there's times where I'm on the freeway and I see it from afar and I'm like, oh, shit, I live in Vegas.
Yeah.
I totally forgot.
Yeah.
But I like
really
it.
Good point.
Because it's very slow. And it's a good environment to raise kids.
Yeah.
And it feels like a small town with, like, big town amenities.
Yeah.
Because, like, you have everything, like, down the street, right? You have the Strip, you have like top chefs, like we're big on food and stuff, so like we have all the cuisines we want out there. We have a lot of access to like Asian food, entertainment, like everything's there.
Yeah, totally, if you want it.
But just it feels like a very small, like I say hi to my neighbors, like
Neighbors
people
are cool?
walk by. People walk by and they're like, hey, good morning, good afternoon. I'm like, what? It's so weird. I'm not used to it.
Yeah.
People drive the speed limit.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? And like the first time I felt it, I was looking around and I'm like, wait, is there a cop here? Is that why people are slowing down? And I'm like, oh shit, people are like respecting the law. Like that's weird.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah, and it's slow. Like I don't feel so much road rage. I feel like here we're like so on top of each other that we're just trying to get to where we're trying to go. Like get the fuck out of my way.
True,
like think about it. As soon as it hits green and you just don't move on the like.
Yeah, I'm like,
people are
what
just
are
like,
you doing?
I'm with it when it happens to them. All it's crazy, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
People beep as soon as the light turns green. It's like, yo, chill.
It's just like, yo, chill. It just turned green.
Yeah. So you just feel like, have you heard of that experiment that they did on rats? Like where they would have them live in like really close quarters. And then they started kind of getting all like rabid and shit. And they started like fighting each other and they start getting all these diseases and getting depression and stuff. You guys never heard of that one?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it all makes sense.
Makes sense.
And then
that's what they call it, the rat race.
You know,
like hustle and bustle of the cities.
Yeah, and you just feel so
other.
Anxious.
Yeah.
And then moving out there, everything's slower. People are just kind of taking their time. Like I drive the speed limit.
Yeah.
Things
you
are
have no more road rage. Yeah.
No, and I'm like, oh shit, I didn't realize how much your environment affects you until like you remove yourself from
That's
it
a good point.
for a little bit.
Did you have friends and family out there? Anybody?
Not yet.
Nothing. So
Not yet. But
you guys know nobody out there.
No, we don't know anyone out there.
I gotta connect you.
Wait, how long you guys been out there?
A year.
My brother just moved there. Was $2. I should connect you. That'd be awesome.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, he lives in this like community. What's it called? Henderson, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. Are you guys in Henderson?
Summerlin.
And there's a bunch of musicians out there from other bands.
Oh, cool.
The whole it's like
super cool.
And then my friends Crossroads just opened up out there. The new
You
Crossroads.
told me about it.
Yeah.
Yes, at Resorts World.
Yeah, we stayed out there. It was nice. It was cool.
Yeah, Resorts World's really cool.
There's a place called Ronald's Donuts you should check out off the beaten path.
I'm down.
It's an old traditional donut spot. And there's one side vegan, one side now. It's all the exact same donuts, every classic donut.
Super cool.
Really?
Yeah, man. It's really awesome.
Haven't explored enough yet.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. Like, we're very nature people, so we've done, like, hikes and stuff.
There's hiking out there?
A ton.
Yeah, there's tons.
Okay.
There's snow. We went snowboarding this winter. Wild, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I
the
saw
Sierra
that. That's
Nevadas.
where you guys were. Wow, okay.
Yeah, like I'm telling you, I have the same perception.
That's all my mind is thinking about the Strip and all that.
It's trash, right? But no, we have Red Rock. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of hiking trails, biking, all of that stuff.
And I'm from Arizona, so it's a lot similar to Arizona.
Arizona's hot, man.
Oh yeah, it's real hot.
we left Vegas in July to celebrate 4th of July in somewhere that we thought was gonna be cooler.
Yeah.
And we went to Arizona like idiots, and we're like, "What the fuck is this?
That ain't the spot."
The soles of my shoes are.
Meanwhile, July's
melting.
not even the hottest month in Arizona. It's usually like June.
Fuck.
It's fucking brutal.
You get
out there,
the
man.
115, 120s. What's up?
It's wild. I know. So I hate bitching and I hate complaining and I hate the environment like really affecting me. So that I'm like, oh, really? You're gonna complain about the heat? Fucking Geo. So I'll train in our gym and I close the fucking gym, like the garage door, and I'm like, no, now fucking complain about this. I'm sadistic, man.
Do you guys have a gym out there or just not yet? Okay.
No, not yet. We
so
just
they're all
want
in
to make
California.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
How many do you guys have?
One.
Okay.
I like how you said that though. You're like, they're all. I'm like, oh shit, that sounds big. No, just one.
Okay.
Just one. Okay.
Yeah.
So
You guys should check it out.
Yeah. Where is it?
It's in like right next to Chinatown. Like, do you know where the brewery is?
Maybe. Yeah.
Like the wine, like the.
That's over by you.
But yeah, Chinatown's not too far from us.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not too far from us.
Highland Park.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a pretty rad spot. It looks sick. The environment it's perfect.
Okay.
I love it. No AC. It's just weights. It's just you and some heavy shit.
You said no AC.
We gotta go
no
check it out,
AC.
Toby.
Damn, that shit's hard.
It's hardcore. I love it.
We gotta check it out, man.
But we're so proud of our community and what we've built because no one's there with like an ego going like, oh, that's it. Like no one's dogging you. Everyone's very encouraging. If you're trying to like hit a personal record, like in your lifting, everyone will stop and like cheer for you. It's like such a rad spot. I love it.
Yeah, those are always the best environments. It's weird because you would think like those corporate gyms aren't really.
It's not my vibe.
Like
man.
that. They're it's like so. Yeah.
Like I see the same person every day, and I'm like, why don't we have a conversation? Like, how do you not remember my name? I'm here all the time.
Yeah.
And I hated that. Like, we really tried to model our gym after like a martial arts dojo where everyone's responsible. This is your house. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, put your shit away. Like, respect it. Like, you pay for it because it's yours.
Yeah.
That's
you know?
amazing.
So like everyone is picking up after themselves. Everyone checks out for each other, or looks out for each other. And like everyone's cleaning up, you know, like it's really cool. It's a cool vibe.
It's amazing.
And you guys also a part of like what's it called? Bobo? What's that shit called? What's it? My son likes it. The little balls and the
the boba tea.
Are you guys part of that? You have
we do. So
green tea or matcha? Or
yeah. So we invest in like a
what's it called again?
Junbi.
Yeah, Max loves boba. He loves that shit.
Yeah, so we have high grade quality green tea. Well, matcha.
I love matcha.
Yes,
matcha?
I gotta hook you up.
Okay, I'm down.
We get it and we source it straight from Japan. We've gone to the farms.
Fire.
And it's tight because like you meet the people that are like picking it, and it like matcha is has such a unique process, and it's so rad.
How good is matcha for us?
Very good.
Okay.
It's very, very good.
Better
for
than coffee? It's
Um,
hard to say.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
I like the caffeine. I like the taste. I know it's not coffee, but there's also that caffeine vibe.
Yeah, and you don't get the crash.
True. Okay.
Yeah, I mean it has so many benefits to it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're doing the right thing.
Okay.
So yeah, we invest in that, but like our start was YouTube. Like
I know. I'm getting to that. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Well, because you were an actress You were an actress. That's how you got on the first YouTube, weren't you?
No, I wasn't.
I thought you were an actress when you got on the JustKiddingFilms thing.
No, I never wanted to be in front of the camera. It was like we don't have enough girls. Get in there, and I'm like, oh fuck. All right.
Did you play an actress on there? I don't know why it says that about you.
No, the internet.
Okay, break it down then.
Yeah, it's wild.
So no, I was working at
you're a bank teller too, no?
Yes. So in college, I was trying to climb the corporate ladder, and I'm like, how am I going to get to this marketing thing that I pointed on the paper? I got to make that happen.
Bank's a good start, yeah.
Yeah, and
No
I was
money.
like, all right, so a teller's cool. I started off as a teller, and I worked my way up. And during that time, I was making pretty good money. I was living on my own finally. I had to break the news to my parents that I'm like, I'm not going to get married to fucking move out. That's weird.
So weird.
So moved out and was making really good money. I think I was working at the bank at that point for like maybe 4 years or something like that. I just was hating life. Okay. I'm like, I'm making good money, but what the fuck am I doing? I just felt like every day was the same. I didn't know what my purpose was. Like, not that I was like seeking this like profound purpose, but it just felt like, what the fuck? Where am I going right now? Like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
It just felt so empty. And at that point, I had like my friend circle that I was introduced to by my boyfriend at that time. It was his friends. And I was with this guy for about 3 years. So I knew all of these guys really well. And within that group were these two guys that were always just making jokes and cracking jokes. And then they would make videos to each other.
Okay.
And like, it was just a response to the other one's video. And then they would send it to us, like to all the homie circle.
Okay.
And then I'm really focused on school too. Cause I'm like, I'm trying to graduate. I'm trying to like get out and do this whole work thing full time. And I'm getting these fucking dumbass videos. And I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing? This is so stupid. And I'm like, all right, whatever. It was Bart and my friend Joe that were sending it to each other.
Okay.
So at that time, I had nothing to do with the start of that whole JK thing. But they were uploading it on this thing called YouTube that nobody knew what it was. It was like the Wild Wild West. People were just uploading shit like cat videos and like kids biting kids' fingers and shit.
Charlie bit my finger.
Exactly.
Okay.
And they started realizing that, so they didn't even know that it was a public thing. They just thought it was like a photo bucket where you upload and it just lives there.
Wow.
Gotcha.
But then they started seeing the viewership go up and they were like, 1,000 people saw this? And 1,000 back then is a lot.
That's
Crazy.
a lot.
Yeah, hell yeah.
They were like, 1,000 people saw this? We don't even know 1,000 people. What the fuck? This is weird. So they kind of kept making these videos and it grew pretty rapidly. Like they went pretty viral and like they got pretty popular.
What year was this?
2017 maybe?
Okay.
So I wasn't a part of it just yet.
Okay.
So Bart and Joe had created this thing called JustKiddingFilms because they're like, oh shit, people want more. So let's make more.
Yeah.
And it was like this really like satire comedy about like, you know, growing up Asian or like trying to change a lot of the stereotypes of like what Asians are perceived to be. So they were like, they started off with these characters called like the uncles. It was like Uncle Chin and Uncle Sam. And like, they were just trying to like show that these Asians liked funk, you know, that they liked being really raunchy with about like, you know, talking about like chicks and stuff, but they were also very respectful. So they were just trying to break a lot of stereotypes in their own way.
Yeah.
Because they're like, Asians are not this way because Bart and Joe's backstory is they grew up in gangs. You know, like we know of Asians as like whatever we saw in like 80s movies. What was that movie? Like 16 Candles. What was that kid's name?
Oh, yeah.
The foreign exchange student.
Yeah.
So that was my introduction to Asian people,
or the kid
right?
the Goonies.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah,
like they're just the background character that's really good at math and is super fucking geeky. So for them, they were like, we don't relate to any of these Asians because like the Asians I know are the ones going to jail, selling drugs, gangbanging, like fighting, you know? So that's what they grew up in. So they say that they were just like, yeah, we don't relate to any of those Asians.
Wow.
So they kept this thing, JK, going to the point where it got really big. It got really popular. And that's when I broke up with my boyfriend and I got with my friend Bart, which was really fucking weird.
And you're all in the same circle too, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was actually my ex-boyfriend's best friend.
Dang.
I know. I didn't break them up though.
Okay.
They're still friends?
No, they're not friends, but it wasn't because of me. I want to put that out there.
Okay.
They were already having their issues. And yeah, we ended up dating. And then in all of that, I was already hating my job. They like, I saw what they were trying to do because they were like at the cusp of like, do we pursue YouTube longer or like do we pursue like because Bart wanted to be a doctor and Joe wanted to be something else. Yeah, he was in he was practicing for that, or not practicing but studying to be a doctor.
Wow.
And it was like right at that point where it was like, well, what do I do? And I was just like, I don't know, whatever you want to do, I'll just support you because I'm working at the bank making good money. So for me, I'm like, fuck it, if you know what you want to do, I'm with you. I'll support you.
Wow.
Like financially, whatever you need, don't worry about it. I got you, you know? And it was one of those where he's like, sick, I have support, you know? And like, yeah, I'm like, he's like, hey, you went to school for marketing. You think you can help us with these flyers? And I was like, yeah, I could do some shit. And I started doing this and it got to the point where I was like doing more work for them. And then I was balancing my other job that I'm like, fuck, I love doing this. I'm making no money from it. And I'm like, at that point, I had like maybe 10K saved. Yeah. And I'm like, fuck this job. I'm like, I'm quitting this shit. And it was during the middle of a recession.
Jesus.
Yeah. And I'm like, fuck it. Let's just go for it. Yeah. And then, I started like acting in it and like producing it and just kept growing, and like here we are.
Was this around like 08?
I did say
2010. I thought. No, maybe
yeah, my bad. I probably said 17. I meant 07.
Okay, 07.
Yeah. Thank you. I get mixed up.
It's only because you said recession, so I was.
Yeah, I was
my
thinking that
mistake.
too.
I did say
Was it
17.
recession 2017. No.
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
So then it's like Just Kidding Party, Just Kidding Gamer, everything.
Yeah.
Now.
We did it. So it started off as like the skit comedy one where it was Just Kidding Films.
Yeah.
And then from there, people really wanted to see the BTS footage. So then we started filming BTS, but people really liked, because we were genuinely friends.
Yeah.
So people really liked our interaction with each other. And then we would like play games, and we would go to each other's houses and have barbecues and stuff. And that would make it into the BTS, to the point where they were like, yo, why don't you guys just like make a game channel out of it? And then like we would play like Mafia or like whatever. Like
love Mafia, the card game.
Yeah. Wait, which one?
With the cards, you're like, oh, you.
Yeah, dude.
I gotta show you that someday. We play on tour. It's the best thing on tour.
I fucking love it.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
I never showed you Chappelle. I gotta show Chappelle. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's acting. It's pretty much acting.
It is acting, and then you really get to see like it's like a glimpse into how society is ran too. And you get to see which one of your friends is
it's a
fucking
good liar too.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Stupid.
There's times where I see some of my friends and I'm like, are you fucking dumb? I get really competitive.
Mafia is so
hilarious.
good.
Yeah. So
And
People get mad and serious about it.
It's with cards? Like
a certain card means a certain person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Dude,
so you're basically in a town, right? In the town, like there's this village, and in this
Town
village,
people.
there's the mafia that's killing these villagers at night, and but like you don't know who the mafia is, so it's up to the village to ask the group questions to uncover who the mafia is, and like you have good people on the
You're in a
civilian
circle
side.
of people. You put your head down, and the mafia puts their head up, and they can point at you if they want to kill you.
Yeah.
You don't have your head down, and then when everybody puts their heads up, he could be like, "Oh, the mafia killed Toby. Then I'm dead. I'm out the game." It's it's really cool. Man.
Oh wow,
It's
fucking
rad.
Dude, it's so cool you brought Mafia up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
you guys were filming yourself play that.
Yeah, we would film it, and like that went like really viral for us too. So we're like, oh shit, let's keep playing games. So then we did that. And because we were real life homies, we would go and eat after working, and then we would have like our little circle where we would talk for hours. And then Bart's like, hey, if we're talking for hours, why don't we just make a YouTube video, like a YouTube channel out of this? Then JK News was born. That's what you were on.
Yep.
JK News. And we would just talk about current events, and that's kind of the jump off point. And then from there, we just talk our shit.
But they do it in such a fun way.
Yeah.
Because when Bart reached out to me, I was like, I don't watch the news at all.
Right?
Like, I was like, I don't know. I was like, I literally don't know anything like
about the news.
Yeah. And he was like, oh no, it's totally chill. It's fun. Like, he goes, you'll see. And I was like, okay, cool. Because I'll get people that'll, ask me, they're like, yo, want to come talk current? I'm like, I just don't pay attention the way that, most people do.
Yeah. Yeah. So it goes there. Like that's the jump off point, right? Where like you talk about this current event, and then you because everyone's a comedian. I'm not a comedian, but everyone else around me is a comedian, that they just go off on the deep end of just like different funny ass scenarios. And it's just like the best. I'm like, this is my fucking job. This is my life.
Yeah.
This is so sick. It's been the best life ever.
So how many years now?
Since 2007.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah. So then
and YouTube was
just started.
And so so how long from when that starts to when it takes off to actually making money?
Oh man,
and you're not stressing about money. It must take a while.
It was rough. Yeah, it was rough. It wasn't until
because you're still working as a bank teller, of course. But yeah. Oh, you quit that. That's right.
I had quit.
You had 10G in the bank.
Yeah, I was living off of that. Dude, I was so broke that it got to the point.
Did you move in with him too?
Yeah, we were living together already.
Okay.
But it got to the point that I knew that like my account would be so negative that I knew that if I used the Visa part of it to get gas, like it takes a couple days. So I knew that I could be negative and still charge it.
Damn.
And then it wouldn't hit my account. I'm like, I'd rather pay the $35 late fee and get gas right now. I'm like, fuck it. Like that's how broke I was. But I was so fucking happy I didn't give a shit.
Was Bart working too at the time or just doing that?
Like side gigs. Like he was tutoring at the time. And then I was, I think I was doing like cocktail waitressing for a little bit. But because I don't drink, people were telling me, because I was trying to think, like, we were both thinking, like, what makes, like, really fast money? So we were thinking, we work at a high-end restaurant where, like, they're going to tip you pretty fat because, because the bill's pretty big. We didn't have experience there, so they didn't hire us. And then I was like, oh, drunk people, when they're happy, they tip. I'm a chick. I could work that a little bit. But I think I only lasted, like, maybe a month. Because like people were like, there was music playing and they would tell me their drink and I'm like, fuck, I don't know what I don't drink hard liquor or any of that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what the fuck? It sounds like and I'm telling and I'm like, fuck, man, like I'm out of here.
That does have to be a stressful. I just thought about that.
So loud it is.
Because like I hate going to clubs and bars because they are so loud. So like if you're someone that's working in that environment, that's gotta be
Yeah, I didn't mind working in it because I knew what my goal was, right? Like I'm just trying to stack my chips a little bit so I can make rent, get money. I mean, get food, get whatever. So I'm like, fine, whatever it takes, I'll get it. But I just felt bad that I'm like, wait, what is it? What? And I'm like, fuck.
And you and Bart were living together at the time? Yeah, okay.
I mean, did you know you could even make money off of YouTube at that time, or like how to break all that down?
No.
Yeah.
No, I just was having a good time.
Yeah.
That was it.
And was there an option to make money at that point back then with YouTube?
There was, yes.
Okay.
At that point, our peers who had stayed super consistent with it, they were already making like 6-7 figures.
Damn.
Yeah.
Monetized, that's right.
Yeah, they were definitely monetizing it. And that's not talking about like brand deals that come in on the side or any other types of partnership or whatever. Because, remember I was saying they were kind of on like the fence if they were going to pursue YouTube full time or then pursue, their traditional route of like being a doctor or whatever.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until I think it was like a Forbes article that came out that like said that these are the top YouTubers and this is what they're making, where they're like, nah, fuck it. We're going to take the YouTube route.
Wow, man.
Wild, right?
Yeah.
Like, and it's all luck. Like, it's not like it was a calculated move that we knew this thing YouTube was going to pop off.
Yeah.
It's all luck.
So how long into it till it popped off?
Man, the dates are really fuzzy.
Well, you started getting money. Like, you're making money. Like, holy shit.
Fuck, I can't even remember. But, like, it definitely took a few years. Maybe, like, 3, 4, 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it took a minute.
Just building the whole thing.
Yeah, but...
making so much content.
But I'm, like, in my 20s. Like, what do I really need money for?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just knew that I was making some rad shit with my friends and having a fucking good time and laughing every day and, like, learning. Like, I didn't go to school to, like, do Boom. But I was doing the Boom, like I was like filming them.
Producing and shit.
I was producing, like I eventually became the producer. I was ADing, doing all that stuff,
acting,
and it was
everything.
Everything.
Fucking sick.
It was so fun. It was stressful, but like that good stress. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh wow.
So I didn't give a shit that I was broke because I'm like, who else is having a good ass time?
Fuck. So what was your last job you worked before that took off?
The bank.
The bank.
That was it.
That was it.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. It was
There's something dope about just doing something that you just extremely love.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, this money kind of falls into, place with it. It's just like all that stuff. I don't know. I always think about that. I'm like, if you're just doing what you love and you're doing it really well and just trying to be the best that you can be at it.
Yeah.
I feel like all that other stuff falls in the line.
Yeah.
Because
100%.
when people want to go out and do something, they're like, oh, I need to make money doing this. Or like people eventually.
That's their initial reason for doing it.
Yeah, initially they start doing it for currency. And it's like, that's not what life is all about. Like, you have to have fun doing it,
Yeah. That's how we started this conversation.
The currency will eventually come. Just kill it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we talked at the beginning of the podcast about. You do comedy because you love it. I do music because I love it. We started out doing it for fun with my friends because it was something we love doing. And then you do keep doing it. It becomes your life and your career.
Well, yeah, because and I also just think about, for myself specifically, like, especially in the comedy game, a lot of people are trying to do anything and everything they can to get themselves out there. And, they're like, I got to do this video or this.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, but I don't connect with that. So I have to, find my way. And I think just the best way for me to just, promote myself is just to be really good on stage.
Yeah.
Totally.
And I feel like that's the only way I can really promote myself is just if I'm just trying to be really, really good on stage.
Yeah. And I think another thing that really plays a huge role into it is if you're not in love with it, there's no way you can hang for as long.
People can tell too. People that watch it, they can totally tell what.
Max's sunscreen's bugging me out. Look at Max's sunscreen on his face.
Looks like
your face is gray, Max. This is Geo, Max.
Yeah, I was Max. Like, oh, he's a little bit sick. Is that what
I don't know. It looks like a jaundice or some shit, man.
Nice to meet you.
Max, that sunscreen. Max, you look like the Hulk or some shit. What's going on with you?
You look like you just got out of a casket, man.
I got to get a picture after this. You look crazy.
Shout out Virtua.
Shout out to what?
Virtua. I don't know.
That's the sunscreen?
It's good sunscreen.
Oh,
right.
Look at that liquid death, though.
I know.
That water's a shit.
It's good, right?
I
gotta
love
send
it.
you some more of that, too.
Yeah, thank you.
To go on with you guys, I feel like you guys were just doing something really love it, and what happened. Like after that, like all of a sudden you start to make money for us. It's like, oh shit, we're
like, oh, and we get paid. Fuck, that's super cool.
And you still, but like I think if you just start with the foundation of just loving it, then you'll always have that in your heart every time you do it. Yeah,
that's kind of how like the gym thing came about too. Like we have always been into fitness because I played sports, and my husband was just always into like lifting and stuff. So we were trying to just go to a gym that was like conducive to our style of training, and we didn't find anything. So he was like, hey babe, what, like at this point we're living in a garage. So it's probably like 500 square foot garage. And he's like, hey, can I get like a whole gym set up, like squat rack, all this, like a bench, can we put it in here? And I'm like, absolutely not, bro. Like how? Like there's no fucking room. So then he was just like, all right, well, what if I get like a container, like those trunk containers? I park it outside of the office, and now like I just buy the gym equipment, and like maybe like I can have the gym equipment there. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then when our friends caught wind of that, they were like, well, shit, if you do that, I'll pay for it. And we're like, wait, you guys need this gym too? And then we were just like, oh shit. Our area has no gym like what we need. And then that's kind of when the gym idea sparked. Wow. Like we hadn't owned a brick and mortar at all. Like our parents don't come from that. Like we don't come from money or experience in any of that. Yeah. So for us, we were like, well, we don't have $30,000 to start, like to buy this equipment. What do we do? Oh, okay. So we made like we tapped into our YouTube audience. We're like, hey guys, since you've been following us, we're thinking of opening a gym, but we don't have the money, and we just kind of painted the vision of what we wanted to build. And then we're like, so if you buy a gym membership to this gym that doesn't exist yet, you get lifetime membership. All it is, it's $100. We'll give you a T-shirt, whatever, and like so many people signed up within like the first 4 hours that we're like, holy shit.
Damn.
Yeah. And we're like, oh, fuck, I guess we got to do this now.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't have enough to make what we needed to start the gym just yet, but we started making shirts because the shirts started popping off. And we're like, oh, fuck.
So you had the name already too, or no, for the name of the gym?
Yeah, we did. We did.
Okay.
What's awesome to hear about this story?
It's fucking crazy.
It's stupid, right?
What's awesome to hear is, when you guys initially just do something like, all right, we'll just do this. And then you're like, whoa, 1,000 people watch that video. And that right there, that's it. That's the thing that like keeps you going, where you're just like, oh wow, 1,000 people. To some people that's like,
whatever,
probably nothing, whatever. Yeah. And you're like, oh wow, this amount of people
appreciate it.
Appreciate
awesome.
it. Yeah. And when you have that means you really have the true passion for it, because you're not expecting. You're just like, I'm gonna throw it out there and see what happens. Yeah. And then when this big result comes from it, you're like, whoa, that's amazing.
Like now I have to actually do a gym because people gave money.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, like our apparel line took off, and then we're like, oh shit, we've never done apparel. We're like, okay, well then let's do apparel.
Yeah.
And then that went into like, now we have a physical gym, and then we outgrew that gym, and now we moved to another gym, and our apparel's still doing, and we have a gym, and we're like, oh shit, supplements. Like now this whole thing came about, and we're fucking idiots, and we don't know what the fuck we're doing ever.
Yeah.
Like
so
we're
still
so
learning.
stupid.
You're still learning.
100%. Like we don't know shit. We don't know shit about fuck.
You guys have supplements too?
Yeah. We have supplements. We have like gym equipment. We have the gym. We offer online programs. Like anything you need, minus the food. We have all of that.
Yeah. And so how much content are you doing these days for YouTube and stuff like that?
Not that much. So we've since then we've shut down, like we've stopped with the sketches, because that was so much work for the return. It just didn't make sense. So we paused on that. Then the game channel, we stopped that. The only one we have out of those channels is just the talk show, the one that you were on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then we had like our personal family channel that we would upload like maybe 5 times a week. Yeah. Like that news channel, we were uploading, I think, like 5 times a day.
Damn.
Yeah, there was a lot of content. Man. Yeah. It was like 40 videos. I think one filming day, I think we would film like maybe 20 videos. We were there from 9 in the morning till like midnight.
Oh, you guys have it so structured. When I walked in there, I was like, oh wow, this is very structured. They know exactly what's going on, what's going to happen next. And,
our shit was really organized. Like we don't have like a template of what to do. We just knew that we needed to streamline things, and we just were like, well, this is what we think we should be doing, and we would just do it.
Did you have a big team too now? Like, did you get
not now. So we did at one point. We had a really big team. Like we had about 20 people.
Wow.
But then with shutting things down, it just wasn't necessary anymore, and we just became a lot smaller. And then COVID happened, so just a lot of like restructuring needed to happen.
Yeah.
So the content is not so much. Now mine and Bart's main focus, well at least mine because he still owns JK. Mine is mainly Barbell.
Okay.
So I'm mainly Barbell Brigade. We do have our family channel like on YouTube and stuff.
Yeah.
But the main focus right now is Barbell.
So YouTube's not a big part as it used to be.
It's not a big part as it used to be. Yes,
Yeah.
it's definitely a big part, but just not as like we don't
Yeah.
have all our eggs in one basket right
So
now.
when you start being successful, when you start actually making money from it, do you feel a need at all to create even more, or like be serious about the content, or just keep doing what you're doing because it's working?
I think we were just so
any pressure from
busy.
it.
Like we just had our hand in so many things. We didn't really think about it like that.
Yeah.
It was more so like, let's just keep everything afloat. And we just have so many hobbies and interests that we're like, okay, we need to stop. Like we just need to really focus on our shit.
Yeah.
And we started slowing down because we knew we wanted a family.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. Yeah.
That was the thing. One of the things I told Bart when we first got together, and I didn't really live up to it, but I told him like, hey, as soon as we get together, like, not together, but as soon as we decide to have a kid, like, I don't want to work. Like I grew up, without having my mom around and my dad around. Well, my dad was always working, so I didn't really count on him too much. Nothing bad there, but with my mom, I remember there was this one time, because my mom's like, she's like, all about like her reputation. She never misses a day of work. Like she's just very reliable. And there was this one time she got sick and she needed to get surgery for something, and she stayed home for that week. And it was so rad to come home, and my mom's like, "How was your day?" And it was so warm that I'm like, I need that.
Yeah.
So like as soon as very beginning, I said, hey, as soon as we decide to have a kid, I'm gonna stay at home. Because like I just want to be with my kid.
Be present, man.
Yeah. But luckily, our lifestyle allows for that. So, because that's the main focus, I don't want to like we were able to structure our life in a way where we can still do what we need to do, and then still be very present with Taika.
Yeah. Does that get stressful having your life online a lot?
Does that what?
Get stressful having your life online so much of your life, or do you have that in control as well?
Not really. Yeah, because I mean, we get to control, what you
put out there.
Yeah.
And because whatever we put out online versus how we live life, there's no difference.
Totally. Okay.
So it makes it easy like that. We don't have like this online persona, and then behind the scenes we're just fucking killing each other. You know?
Yeah. And then what about like public opinion or comments or what people say about your family? Do you read that shit? Do you care about that shit?
It's a waste. Like
I respect
in the
that.
beginning, like for sure, right? Because you want to put your best foot forward, and comments and all of that stuff would definitely get to me.
You interact with everybody? Respond
in the beginning, not so much now, because if it's positive, absolutely, if they're giving me love, I'm gonna give love back.
Of course.
But yeah, if it's negative, and there's a ton of negative shit out there that I'm just like, well, I don't really need to engage with it.
Yeah.
Like they're not fans anyway, and those tend to be the mega fans, which is actually funny.
Damn,
it's ironic.
It's
like
so
the more
weird
they
that
hate
is,
you,
dude. They hate you, but they follow you, hate on you.
It's like a love. Yeah, it's like upset. I don't know.
It's like a stand. Yeah,
it's an obsession.
Yeah, they hate you so much that they know that you're gonna be at like you're here and you're doing that, and this happened to you, and I'm like, bro, I think you're a fan.
Yeah. No, it's so weird.
Yeah.
Well, and how close they pay attention.
Yeah, like they're paying attention because they want you to fail, but they just end up knowing everything about
it. They end up knowing everything about it.
It's a lot of energy for like a stranger to have on you. You know what I mean? It's so crazy. Or like a negative comment where you finally respond. They go, "Oh my God, I didn't mean that. I can't believe you responded. Thanks so much. I'm a fan."
Those are my favorites.
I'm sorry about that.
Why'd you write that?
When you put them on blast in public.
And then you think about it, they probably just acted off emotion, and you're like, whatever.
You're like, fuck, I shouldn't have engaged.
I know, exactly.
Fuck.
I usually have empathy for those kind of people because I'm like, I didn't even know this person existed. I don't know anything about them. They could be going through something else, and they're probably just taking it out on me. And I'd rather them take it out here on me in some random comment section than to just, go out and do something crazy to someone else. So it's like, if that's the result,
that's really nice of you.
Then
it is, right?
Yeah, then that's
really nice.
It is.
It's kind of crazy. I mean, I don't know,
because everybody's going through shit.
Everybody's going through. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't know this person's.
You know that?
Yeah.
I didn't really know that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really believe it. I just thought that like you're going through your own shit. And it wasn't until I was put in a situation where I was involved with like a room full of people from all walks of life, all financial levels or whatever. And like everyone is literally going through, they're carrying a ton of shit on their back.
Yeah, everyone. And
especially
I just
now
think,
after the past 2 years too.
I just think everybody has a story. And listen, that didn't come overnight for me to understand that. You know, it obviously
took
a while. It took a lot of reading and just learning and just educating myself. And I'm like, you know,
she probably journals a lot. I love it.
Like, you journal a lot?
I admire
like
that.
intensely every day.
Every day.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Right at the start of the morning. I wake up at like 6 a.m, get to the coffee shop like 7:30, and I just.
Do you just let your brain go wherever it wants to go, or you're just like with an agenda?
Sometimes I'll have an agenda, but a lot of times like I've gotten to the point to where my brain just goes.
Damn.
I love that. Right?
Do you have like a lot of breakthroughs and revelations like as you're writing?
Oh yeah, tons. Like I have like a crate at my house where it's just like a ton of old.
How cool!
Journals. Yeah.
You feel comfortable leaving that there?
Yeah. Okay.
That's really cool.
Yeah, because like yes, it's down on the paper like that, but also there's a lot of knowledge I've gained that I can walk with.
Cool.
You know, so like that's why it doesn't stress me out too. Because I was like, well, whatever. If they get burned or something like that, I do have all the knowledge that I've was able to learn from there. So
it's like therapy though, right?
Yeah,
in a sense.
It's my own personal therapist. Yeah.
It is rad. I actually found a lot of therapeutic use with like weed and like ecstasy.
Yeah. Ecstasy?
Yeah.
Wow.
So me and my husband.
Shouts out to Joe.
Huh?
It says shouts out to Joe.
Right?
He told me his little experience.
Oh, Joe, like my Joe. I thought you were talking about Joe Rogan because he talks about that shit all the time.
No. Joe, your Joe.
Yes. That guy's fucking crazy.
I know, he's so crazy, but so
cool.
So
ecstasy, it helps.
Yeah. So like, I don't like depending on anything. Like if I don't have to take headache medicine, I try not to. Like that's where I try to control as much as I fucking can.
Yeah.
But like my husband and I were going through because we work together so much and we have so many things together that we're just workaholics. Always together. That like it got to the point where we were just more partners in business than just like romantically. And it was one of those where we were like considering really like getting a divorce. And I just felt like he just didn't know how to connect emotionally, and he just felt like I was too emotional, right? And we were like, fuck, like what do we do? And he was an E-head growing up. Like all he did was a lot of ecstasy, and he's like, that was the only time I really felt like I understood my emotions, or I could be like really emotional.
Interesting.
And then we were just like, all right, fuck it, let's just try it. I'm open to anything at this point.
Yeah.
So we tried it, and that was such an eye-opening experience where he was able to really understand what I like had contributed to the relationship, and he was like fighting for me. Like in that conversation, he was just saying like, this is what I did, this is how I behaved, and this is what you were providing for me. And I'm like, oh shit, you both
in ecstasy having these conversations?
Yeah, we're probably making the stupidest faces at each other.
Holy shit.
We're all like, or whatever.
Did you record that shit? No.
No.
For yourself. Like maybe you said this yesterday.
No. We were just very much
fucking amazing.
Present in the moment, and like
damn.
Yeah, like it just like we just knew that we were there for each other, and we were there to use this to find a way to really just open up, get rid of any ego or just like any inhibition, and just talk. And it got to the point in the conversation where like we just felt like we needed to apologize to all of like our exes and stuff. I know it took such a crazy turn because we were just like, dang, we've been pretty shitty, or like we've been good and we've been shitty, and it just got to the point where we're like, fuck, I think I need to apologize to my exes. And we were like found them on Facebook, and hey, that one time I did that one thing, I want to apologize, and just because you never know what people are holding on to.
Yeah, holy shit.
It got wild.
That's beautiful, and that's some shit I discovered through journaling. So, because I grew up with an abusive stepfather, right?
Bummer.
And but not really. I think it's a positive.
Let's go. I love it.
I like totally flipped it because, I remember, I grew up with him, and that was obviously very traumatic experience. But then as I've gotten older, I've learned to be able to take a different route with it.
Yeah.
So like on stage. Well, I remember when I first started telling jokes about it because I was like, fuck it, let me say something. It's like it's a part of my life. That's what I talk about. Is a lot of my experiences on stage. And I remember doing this joke, and I just remember it was just such a bummer for people, and I hated that. I was like, why is it such a bummer for people? Then I would listen back to it, and I was like, oh, I sound upset. I sound like I'm still in pain, you know? So I had to like, so then I just started journaling about that whole experience with my stepfather, and then him and my mom weren't together anymore, but I would just ask my mom questions about him that I never knew. And I was just curious. I was like, well, let me learn about him. And there was so much I learned about him and the way he grew up. And then I started to realize, I was like, oh, this guy thought he was doing the right thing.
Yeah, man. Isn't that wild?
He thought he was doing the best. He like, cause I was like, why does he always say like, I was in his life, like, I don't know why Chappelle doesn't like me. Cause he's confused on that. And then I get it. I was like, oh, cause his dad was never around. He never knew his dad. And his mom wasn't good to him. Yeah. So I was like, oh, so he thought he was doing the best.
Those are his tools, man.
Those were his tools.
He didn't have any other tool.
With that, I was able to, come at peace and forgive and, learn to like, find the love for him. Yeah. And the empathy through that. So, that's so funny. But that's all discovered through, the stand-up and the journaling. And, and I think it's just interesting that you guys found that your way, like, oh, wow, I got to apologize to my ex. That's amazing.
Did you stop telling that joke or that story?
Hell no. Okay. Shit, I will double down on that.
Do you say it differently now? It's not angry?
It's elevating for sure. Okay. As I've like learned more and more, and I continue to learn more about him, it's like elevating and it's getting better. And I'm, and it doesn't. Amazing. It's not coming off weird to people because, I've learned to be able to understand. Like I've learned to say certain words and certain ways to put things so you understand like this is fine. This is the easiest, thing ever. So
isn't that interesting, like how unfortunate it is that people don't think they have control of the narrative in their head, right? Because this thing is something that is really it can be a really heavy thing, right? Like if you want to lean into like this the dark side of it, you can get swallowed up by it.
But your life will just be that dark side. Right. And I was like...
And you could be repeating the same things, and what you hated, you might become, right? Mm-hmm. But it's so... like that's what kind of breaks my heart sometimes, that people don't realize that they can take that situation, and some things you can't, right? Like... Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I might be able to take that back, but... No. I feel like everything you add the narrative to, right? Like the most fucked up thing could happen, but you can be like, okay, wait, I understand where it comes from. Actually, it wasn't even my fault, or like you can like you can like choose how you want to feel about it.
Yeah, well, it made me understand, like, not to take it, and it's crazy to say this, but I mean, who cares? Yeah, I don't take any of it personal.
Let's go.
Yeah, I don't take it personal.
Good.
I was like that, and so
it had nothing to do with you.
It had nothing to do with me. You know what I mean? I took a punch or two. What? So what? You know? I was just
you know how to bob and weave now.
Yeah, I know how to bob and weave now. There's a lot of pluses to this. It is a beautiful thing to walk through life and knowing I don't have animosity for a person that I consider just so bad and so wrong. And, and such a heavy...
It's freeing.
It's so I feel way more free now.
Bro, it's cool because like you actually made this person who can be very inhumane, you made him very human. Yeah. And you were just like, fuck, imagine what this guy went through. Not to make excuses, because obviously, right, there's a good way and a bad way to treat people.
And that's what I tell people,
Yeah, but it's one of those where you're just like, fuck, man, some people don't have another choice. Like that's literally their tool. Like that's all they know.
Yeah.
And I think if you can understand that from people, and I wish people could do that a little bit more, we would be living so much happier with each other.
Well, there's because you got to look at it this way. Like it's like, okay, like I had to look at my life and where I was at currently. I was like, oh, I love my life. I'm having a great time. You know what I mean? So when I realized that, I was like, but I have this one thing just hanging over me. I was like, what if I just made everything just fun? So
sick.
It's like, I was
what
like,
what? Stud,
man. I was like, yeah. Well, I was like, what does it feel like if I was just like to love them?
I was
like, what would that feel like?
That's amazing, man. Yeah.
Fucking proud of you. That's I know. That takes a lot.
But you guys, you and Bart apologizing to your exes made me think of that.
That's incredible.
Situation. I was like, that's incredible to me, because I mean, most people, that's a lot, because I mean, big. When you think about most relationships, they do end in a very bad way.
For the most part,
For the most part. It's rare that a couple can just be like, we're done.
Yeah.
On an easy note. It's very rare.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot, for you guys to be able to. I need to write this person. I really need to.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I took ecstasy and that helped.
Yeah, it did.
And how did they respond? And did they know you were on ecstasy?
They were cool.
When
No.
They do now.
They're like, are you messed up?
Hey, we're high right now. We just want to say we're sorry.
No. They were actually like, wow, like that's really mature of you, and I'm so happy that like you said that. Like,
that's cool.
Yeah. I felt like it gave them some sort of peace and like we can move on.
That's
it's
beautiful.
all good.
That's good.
Yeah, because you don't know what people are holding on to,
Yeah.
Have you guys done ecstasy together since then?
Yeah, but for funsies.
Okay, funsies. Now you know it works.
Like one time, but like Bart's not really much into that type of stuff, and and when it's too fun for me, I'm like, oh shit, I'm just gonna chill.
Yeah.
And again, like I like being in control of my life, and sometimes it can be a little bit too out of control, and like not too out of control because that sounds like I have a problem. I don't. But it's one of those where I'm like, once in a while it's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that conversation helped in that moment.
Oh,
that's really
man.
cool. It worked.
Really got like him to understand because he's very logical, but it got him to really understand. And he came from like kind of an abusive environment where things weren't ever really explained with words. It was just like, I'm going to beat your ass.
Yeah.
Like, it was really
violent.
bad.
Yeah.
So for him, he just knew how to just hold on to things.
Yeah.
And then for me, like I just had to work through my own shit where I'm like, oh fuck, I didn't see that I was doing this. And it really brought us closer together. And we've never been better ever since.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. It's dope because we just didn't want to bring a kid into our shit. It's like it wouldn't be fair for us to be like working out our shit and then having another stressor because, that's what a kid is in the beginning. At least it's just stressful. An additional stressor that like we just didn't feel like we were mature enough, and it would have been so fucked up to bring a human into something like that.
Are you the completely opposite of your mom, like how she raised you so strictly?
Yeah. Yes, I am. But I love that my mom's very I love that she has very traditional values. I find myself to be very traditional too. Like I like being this sounds so funny because I'm like fucking so dependent and I like doing my own shit and I'm like, I choose if I want a man in my life or not. But I do like the idea of like having Bart be like the head of the house and like I like those roles. I like those traditional roles.
Even though you're boss lady.
Yeah, even though I'm boss lady, but like I love because he's so respectful. Like he feels like he's my partner. Because he gives me the platform and he like gives me respect and he listens to my ideas and we have conversations and it's something that I didn't grow up seeing. It was either like that's what my dad says and that's it. Yeah. Like there's no conversation. So the fact that we've built this partnership with each other. Like when we work, it's just work. And like I have my role in the company, he has his role, and when I say if it's my role and I have the final say, that's it. It's not like I'm the fucking man. Like I need to have like there's no ego. Yeah. Which is super rad.
That's good.
Wow,
yeah,
that's amazing.
That's really good.
I understand how rare it is.
Yeah.
But he's such a dope guy that like he was the reason why I actually believed in love. Like growing up, I'm just like, what the fuck is this? Like you have to find, like you fall in love with people. Like I just thought you find someone that you're compatible with and then eventually you grow into loving them. Like that's my perception of what love was.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until I met him that I'm like, oh shit, I'm like obsessed with this person.
Yeah.
And it was rad because he let me be me 100%. Like he wasn't questioning like my style or the clothes I wore, which is something that very Mexican, like you're gonna wear that, like you can't wear that, and like he wasn't jealous and he wasn't possessive, and it was like that's you, and I want to like shine a light on who you are. Yeah. And I had never felt that before, and I'm like,
that's
what?
Amazing.
You don't want to change anything about me? Sick.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, somebody like I love you, not change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is like that.
I wonder what it's gonna get to because I don't know how the younger generation looks at love, because I mean I feel like it was so weird for all of us because I mean a lot of us do come from some sort of dysfunctional families to where like our experiences of love is just so different where I do feel like there is this kind of shift to where people are really finding love and finding the importance of it and what a partner is, and really it's like, hey, it's about this compromise with another person that you really love and really admire. I don't know, I just think it's probably going to be a shift. I don't know what the younger generation is but I don't know. I just
it
feel
feels healthier. Right?
Yeah, it just seems like and I think there's just a lot more options. It's maybe because of, the things I see online. There's so many different things of, that help people understand relationships, and I don't think any of us were really ever taught how to be in a relationship.
Where would you look? You're looking in your house or your like friend's house, and you're like, that's
true.
It's like,
they're pretty fucked up too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think that's probably what it is. There's just more resources out there to help people understand what it takes to be in a loving relationship.
Yeah, and it's not easy, and it's not always fucking lovey-dovey, you know?
Yeah.
It's not.
You definitely still argue, like as much as I'm painting this like really cool picture of us, like for sure we bicker and like we have our differences and shit.
Me too, man.
But I feel like that's what also makes it stronger, right?
I agree.
Once we get over that, then we're like, oh, we understand each other better.
Yeah.
Just like little stupid things for sure. But communication's totally key, obviously, and trust and making each other laugh still.
Yeah.
It's super important.
And probably when you think about that argument, you're just like, I love that motherfucker.
Oh, yeah. Like, I hate him. I'm like, I fucking hate you. But I don't want anyone else.
Yeah.
But I love him so much, and we are so secure with each other that we can say, like, you stupid bitch, or
me too.
I fucking hate you. But, like,
me too.
It's just stupid words. You know?
Yeah.
How many years you guys together for now?
About like 15.
Sick.
Yeah.
15 years.
I know.
Damn, that's good.
And it's still so sick. I love it.
Great.
I've realized with him that relationship isn't a 1 + 1 = 2 type of thing. It's 1 + 1 = 3. Because it's like, it's who I am that I bring to this relationship, who he is that he's bringing to the relationship, and then there's the relationship us.
Yep.
That I was like, this is so fucking sick. I love it.
Well, that is
Man,
good.
I love
That's
hearing
good.
stuff like that.
I know, me too. That's a good way to break it down too.
Just getting all mad emo.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm married 26 years this year. It's crazy, man. It's a long time, man.
No, I love your guys' relationship.
Thank
you
you.
guys seem like you guys are like genuinely in love.
We are. We were best friends first. We were friends for a
I
long
love
time,
it.
and that really helped, I think.
I love it.
Hanging out, going to shows, and all that stuff, and then we have a kid too. It changes a lot too, you know.
Yeah.
That bond, all that, you know.
Oh, the kid.
Yeah, when the kid comes, just like what? It's just like fuck.
Yeah. And you see a really cool side of them.
Like seeing my
Seeing
wife
her as a mom.
Yeah, I see my wife within 24 hours. All of a sudden, she's breastfeeding, and we have a child, and all the the mother intuition, all that stuff kicks in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she sees you as being a father.
It's crazy. Changing diaper for the first time. All that shit's crazy. Here's your baby. Go out into the world. Bye-bye.
I was like, for real? Like, there's no paperwork.
Yeah.
Like,
we just leave? We just
can't return them.
I'm like, you trust me with a human?
There's no handbook. There's nothing, man.
That's so funny.
It's crazy, right?
It is.
And we don't even own our children. Like, they can do it when they turn to go away. It's fucking crazy.
Which is another thing that, I don't know how many parents, teach their kids, and eventually you're going to be a parent.
It's hard, man, because you're trying to make decisions in the now and like 20 years down the line.
Yeah.
Because you're like, what I say now, how is that going to apply when they're older? Like, you're trying to structure so much, like in the present and in the future. It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
It seems like you guys balance it pretty well, everything. Your jobs, just everything,
Yeah, we try to. Like, we figured out what's important to us, and then we just put emphasis on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like family connections, friendship, genuine connections, putting positive shit out there. Like, we're really about that.
Totally.
So, like, if it doesn't align with that, then we don't need it.
Yeah. I was going to ask you that. You consider yourself an optimist or pessimist, but you're pretty positive.
Yeah, I'm pretty positive. Like, I've had some shit happen to me where I'm like, well, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And like, kind of like you, right? Where it's like you still can love the people or the persons because you're just like, well, what did they know?
Yeah.
Type of shit.
Mm-hmm.
So really, no regrets for you?
Not really, no regrets. Because it's like the stereotypical is like everything happens for a reason, right? Mm-hmm. And I really do genuinely believe that. I believe that, like, whether you believe in God or the universe or whatever, I feel like whatever it is, that thing that you believe in, it's really trying to make you fucking win. Like, I think for me, the universe is, I feel like it's always trying to make me win. So it gives me this, it throws the bad shit at me to be like, yo, you got to check yourself. Like, there's some shit that you don't have in line, and I'm going to keep throwing it at you in different formats until you can learn from this shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
everything,
right.
everything. Like, it is really true. Like, everything is to learn.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, because you have two options. You can go this route or you can go this route.
Because life is hard regardless, right? Yeah. It just depends on the hard that you want to chase, right? Like to break it down really simply, like being fit is hard. But then also being unhealthy is also hard. So what hard do you want?
Yeah,
it's a great point.
You know what I mean?
And we gotta get in the gym. So
I know, man.
Look at me.
True, though.
I'm trying to plug my shit. Go to Barbell Brigade.
It's true. Like I hate going to the gym, but I love how I feel when we go hike or we do
like after we hike, like I always feel great. You know.
I know.
Yeah, I didn't mean like the health part, but like I just mean
no, it hit us.
Everything is hard.
To all that, yeah, for sure. It's
like
so important.
Everything's hard. It's just what hard do you want? Like, do you want the controlled hard or the uncontrolled hard? And I'd rather be in control the whole time.
Next thing you know, you'll see Toby and I signing up at the.
Let's go.
I think the hardest shit is almost the best shit for you too. That's what Adam was saying. Our friend of ours who's a trainer, like. If you hate doing, we're getting to working out now. But if you hate doing burpees, you should do burpees.
I tell myself that all the time.
It's such a benefit you in such a great way that you 100%. Would never know.
Yeah.
The stuff you hate doing benefits you the most, I guess, right?
Yeah. I lean into that a lot. So remember at the beginning I said I hate contact sports. That's why I didn't play basketball. I signed up to jiu-jitsu. Like now I want to do jiu-jitsu because I'm like, oh, really? You're going to be a bitch and like talk about how you don't like contact sports? Yeah. So I'm like, let's get into the most contact sport possible and let's wrestle.
Let's wrestle.
Yeah. Like I hated running. So I'm like, all right, bitch, you hate running? Then let's start running 4 miles a day. You know?
You still running?
So it's not in my program right now.
Okay. How many miles do you run?
So I wanted to do 4 miles because I'm like, oh, you hate it. So like I want to be able to do 4 miles without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, let's hate it together. Let's fucking go. And then I would just do it. I'm like, fucking hate this shit. But now I'm comfortable, you know?
Would you ever do a marathon?
I would.
Me too.
Yes.
I really want to do it
because I hate it.
I know. I know. I used to run a lot, man, before my son was born.
Yeah.
But I'd run during that too. My wife would run a lot too. It just got like fell off on it, you know?
Yeah, it's hard,
Once you get going, it's nice, but I hate the beginning of it.
There's priorities. Yeah. I get it. There's certain things like running is not the priority for some people. It's probably like putting food on the table. I get it. You know?
Also, it's just crazy just running down the street in Los Angeles.
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
I stayed in my neighborhood, but sometimes I would branch out. I'm like, I'm like the only person running down the street right now. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. No.
Like, do you run in Vegas, like down the street?
I have. Yes. Yeah.
Those big ass wide streets.
Yeah. Wherever I can. But like I said, right now, like I was really focusing on strength.
Yeah, you're killing it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I see you killing it.
I just felt like I wasn't being consistent. And I'm like, how am I doing myself a disservice? Do I really not like myself that much? And I'm like, I need to sharpen my shit up.
Yeah.
So like I made it a point to like really focus on what I wanted.
Serious weight training for you, huh?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's very therapeutic too. Like I feel like it's like I get to meditate and it's just me and like I really enjoy it.
It's you in the garage.
Yeah.
It's hot.
I really like it. It's really hot.
Yeah.
I love it. Like if I'm drenched and I feel like a fucking animal. And once you're done,
you did the damn thing.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about tattoos. It's like I hate getting them motherfuckers. But when I'm done.
Yeah, you do hate.
Best feeling.
You make the funniest faces too.
Oh yeah. I want to cry every time.
I know.
Have you heard about that saline like injection that they can put like between your layers of your skin so that it doesn't hurt when you're getting tattooed?
What is she talking about?
That.
What? Are you serious?
Really?
So that's some new shit?
Yeah, I've heard some. So I have a friend that said he got that done because he has his whole leg piece.
Yeah.
And he got saline solution injected into his skin, and he said he didn't feel a thing.
Really?
Damn, I never heard of that.
I don't know if I would like that. I kind of like. I mean, listen,
it's a rite of passage or something.
But there's just something about like going through that pain, getting a tattoo. Like think about
it's the whole vibe, dude.
Yeah,
it is.
Like you have so much to talk about when you go through the pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did that feel? Your
Horrible,
head tattoo.
Man. It fucking sucked, man.
Were you in the middle of it and going, "What the fuck have I done?"
Yeah, I actually wanted to punch. I love you, Dan Smith, but I wanted to punch him first time ever. I wanted to turn around and punch him right in the face because he had me on the chair and he's pushing my head down. There's no really comfortable way to get top of your head tattoo. It's brutal, man. It was horrifying. But I did it because I'm obsessed and I finished my head. Now I'm good with it. You know what I mean?
Nice. Yeah, I get it.
I don't know what I'm going to do next, but it's just like my room is very limited. I have my.
What would the next one be, though? I know you said you don't know.
Fuck. Where would it be?
Yeah.
My spots are very
limited,
personal.
You have a whole face.
Fuck that. I'm too handsome for that. I can't do that shit.
There you go.
Moon would kill you.
I mean, I have just parts that are like, you know, some parts. You know what I mean? I can't. It's hard.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying
you
to
can
that.
say what is it?
Yeah, I mean,
it's a rated R podcast.
Well, I mean, I can do my taint. I have my taint. I have my.
I wasn't even thinking that. I'm glad you did say it. I was thinking of your dick.
I have my taint and my privates. You know, yeah, that's all I have left.
People do their taint?
Fuck yeah, people do everything. My friend's got like a full, sleeve on his thing. You know, yeah.
Oh, he does.
Oh,
you know him too. I'm not gonna say his name. Anyway, but yeah, people do all that shit. Yeah. But how did the hand feel?
Horrible.
That shit's no joke.
It was horrible.
Fingers, man.
Yeah, the fingers were so rough.
So,
I mean, it's falling
out
right now.
It looks so good, though.
It's falling out now. Like, I got to get it. Like, she didn't finish. I have to go back.
It looks even better in person, though, like the rose.
Does the top?
Yeah.
Does the top hurt?
No, the top was fine.
Fucking hard. What did your man think about the hand tattoo?
He doesn't give a shit. He's like about
Shout
like
Bart.
He doesn't have any tattoos, right?
He does. He has like a half.
But
like
that's hardcore, like the fucking.
I know. I'm so crazy. Like I get an idea.
You
and
love it?
I love it.
Did your mom see it?
Yeah.
Well,
Of course.
Not a
yeah,
fan.
she's not down with it, but she's accepted me for who I am now.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
There's no resistance
no choice,
anymore.
though. This is
She's
you.
my best friend. Like
That's beautiful.
Wow.
I hated her, but now we're so tight.
That's fucking amazing.
Yeah, she's my best. I set out to fix any type of relationship that's in my life. So if it was turbulent and it was fucked up, I just was like, I'm taking responsibility for it. I'm not gonna expect you to change. Let's make it happen.
Damn, that's so cool.
Yeah, I fucking love her. She's the best.
Your mom has no tats.
No, none at all. Yeah, none at all. But like, yeah, she's like, you're just crazy. And I'm like, yeah. She goes,
That shit looks
cool.
sick though, man. It looks
Thank
really...
you. Thank you. It's so funny because there's like nothing else up here.
I
But
know.
We'll see what happens.
It's kind of cool though, like that.
Yeah, we'll see
Would
what
you do
happens.
the other hand too?
Maybe. I try not to think about things too much. Like especially with something like
Did you just fucking do it?
Yeah. Like I feel like a tattoo is something that's not gonna affect anyone else. It's not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I think I want to get that done. I'm gonna do it, and that's kind of it.
You just did it.
Yeah.
I obsess on shit like that too, especially tattoos.
You do.
And then once that shit's done and I'm done with the pain the next day, I'm like, fuck. I did see a spot. Like I get really obsessed. You know what I mean?
No,
Oh, it was
I
like
don't.
when after you did.
Like I saw,
yeah.
somebody took a picture of me naked in the shower in Europe. Just this side room in the shower, I'm just like standing there, and he's like, "Yo, you look crazy." And they showed it to me, and I'm like, "You know what's even crazy? I see a spot under my butt cheek. My butt's totally finished now. This is years ago. I'm like, I see a spot right there. I didn't get that spot.
You saw more canvas.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I got spot ribs on my whole ass. I have Prince. I have Robert Smith on my ass. Like,
How cool.
but I have all this shit. I'm like, fucking. I had to finish my body, man. It's crazy. It's my. I hate to use the word addiction because that's a serious word.
Yeah.
This is. I don't know. I can't.
It's your
stop.
hobby.
It's my hobby. I just can't
Yeah.
stop. You know. It's like. But I don't want to do my
fun.
face, and I just.
We'll see.
No, I promise. Why would you do your face?
Maybe. I don't. I mean, who knows what's gonna happen in 7 years or 5 years? You know what I mean? Like, I might have some like near-death experience, and I'm like, fuck everything that I knew. Let's do the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. I'm open to anything.
Yeah. What about if your son wants to get tattooed?
That's cool. I think I would just want him to be in a place where he's like very secure, you know? Like, I just don't want him to get like a stupid thing and then like, I don't know. I guess I'll just play it by ear.
Because a lot of the
see
kids
where
are
he's
getting
at.
like their faces and their necks and their hands now. That's going to change by the time he's a teenager. He's so young. But the generation now, it's just like blasting their hands and their face and neck first. And like nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like just like, psh,
Yeah.
like really influence from people on the internet or.
Like that girl that got Drake on her forehead.
No.
Yeah, you see the girl Drake cross her forehead?
Yeah, she had
No.
Drake.
Yeah, it was sad. It was sad.
It was sad.
But like even like just like, I don't know. Not saying just the island boys, but just in general, the young rappers, the kids, a lot of kids are getting their full blasted like paragraphs and just like.
Yeah.
I don't think it'd always be like that because you can't. What more can you go like? How further can you go after that? Like that's
the most shocking.
That's the most shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I just want him to be in a spot where, and by secure, I just mean like he's got his shit together. You know, like the tattoo's not the priority. Like I want you to have good grades or at least know what you are, like what you want or be a good person. And then tattoo is just
understanding.
Yeah. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever he wants, I guess is fine.
What is something you're working on now? Just the barbell stuff and then your shit on online stuff. Yeah.
That's the main thing. Just working on barbell, trying to grow that. We do have a family channel where we document all of our stuff. Like we just went to Hawaii and we documented that, and that's really cool.
So when you do that, do you bring somebody with you?
No, it's just us.
Okay.
Yeah, so it could be like a phone because the technology on the phones are so good now.
It's so sick.
Or just a camera with like a little dead cat on it.
Okay.
And that's it. Yeah.
And then maybe a barbell, maybe open one in Vegas.
Maybe. No promises.
Is there a lot of gyms out there? I'm sure.
There's a ton, but nothing like barbell. For sure, nothing like barbell. Yeah. So who knows?
So you definitely want to expand somehow.
Yes. Yes. So right now the focus is family. So that's why a lot of things have slowed down for us. So family is the main priority, making sure Taika's taken care of and he feels loved and supported. And then once he gets older, we're just going to hit it hard again and see where we end up in life.
Yeah.
That's nice.
She could come back to LA someday. You never know.
What's up?
Might come back to LA
Yeah,
someday.
maybe. Or we might leave the U.S. altogether. Who knows? Who knows?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely want to connect with my brother out there too. Good people. Got 2 kids.
Come through. You can always stay with us.
Yeah, you need to get some. Gotta get your crew out there.
We'll be out there in October.
Yeah, we'll be out there in October for a concert, like a 3-day concert.
That'd
Have
be
you heard of
sick.
My Chemical Romance?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, they're playing out there.
Oh, cool.
Paramore. It's a huge festival. It's like 100,000 people a day.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, we're gonna be out there. But
Make sure it's shaded, man.
It's got.
Well, October, I guess, will be good.
October,
no, good. October's
it should
cold.
be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like it feels kind of wintry. It's kind of cool.
So no plans for new tattoo either. That's it right now.
For now, at least. No promises, though.
Yeah.
Who knows? And like tattoo artists are so good now that I feel like they're everywhere. So.
Yeah, where's that tattoo
Yeah, they have
artist
gotten
from?
a lot better.
Vegas, yes.
Okay.
They've gotten so good.
I feel like artists have gotten really good.
Yeah, like initially I was really into like Jun Cha. Like I thought he was so sick because he was doing like, have you heard of him? So he was doing like a lot of like statues.
Okay.
Like Greek statues and tattoos and stuff. He's black and gray. But it was so good. And this was back like maybe 10 years ago now. And like that, I just felt like you look at it and you feel like the coldness of like the stone. Like that's how detailed it was. That now like everyone is doing that style.
There's so many tattoo artists.
Isn't
But that
right?
rose looks like almost 3D. It's cool.
Yeah.
From here, yeah.
It was a chick that did this too.
That's
She does
awesome.
it so hard.
What's her name?
Fuck, I forgot her name. I was
Damn.
hoping you wouldn't ask. Shit. And she's
Okay, we'll
so
cut that
sweet.
out.
Yeah, you'll ask Joe to
You
cut
don't
that
have
out.
to. Not at all.
Oh, you forgot her name?
Yeah, no, it's okay. I mean, I paid her for it. It was like she doesn't need the name, but
Yeah.
fuck. But she's really good. Kat. Kat
Okay,
is her
Kat.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, she's out of Vegas.
Okay, different cat. Not Kat Von D, a different cat.
No, yeah, with
Cat
the
from
C.
Vegas. Okay, Cat
Cat
with
with
the
a
C. You have like a top 5 or anything? Artists?
Tattoo
Musicians?
artists?
No,
just in
musicians.
general.
Music, yeah.
Oh man, there's.
Are you a hip hop head too?
I'm an anything head now,
Okay.
right? And it's so fucking everyone says that. But there's so much music,
There's so
man.
much music.
I know.
I don't know
There's
who
so
these
much-
new people are.
But
and
I see you
listen
working
to-
out to mostly hip hop.
That's
Seems like
Bart's music.
Okay, that's Bart.
So like
okay.
I like a lot of electro, but then I also like it depends on the vibe. Like it depends on what it is that I'm doing. Like I like a
Electro.
lot of like even Afro beats are really good. Like hip hop is really good. Like a lot of independent like indie music too. I like.
Yeah. You listen to it all.
I do. My taste is pretty eclectic. Like if I were to show you my phone with or like my Spotify, you'd be like, it's a ton.
You guys eating a cookie on the podcast? What the hell?
That's that crunch.
Yeah, I was just listening to the. I don't know why I'm even saying this, but the new Drake record. It's like a dance record.
It's so good.
Okay, there you go.
I
Okay.
like it.
It's
I mean,
a very
it's still,
Chicago house record.
It
vibe,
is.
Yeah.
It's still Drake. It just feels like Drake. I mean, nothing
It's
against
very
him.
dancey.
It's dancey, but like it like Drake did nothing to Drake. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
music changed, but Drake is
It's
still.
still Drake.
And it's in the dance category too, not in hip hop.
Yeah.
I checked that the other day. I was like,
yeah,
oh,
he put it in a dance.
wow.
like
that's
that's why
sick to
that's
do
why
that.
I like Kanye so much. And I know this is good. Some people are like fuck Kanye, whatever.
No,
but
let's hear-
just
let's
his
hear it.
I'm with
music.
you. I love Kanye.
So
The doc was incredible, by the way.
I haven't seen
What?
it. I know. I have
Yo.
a fucking
Listen,
4-year-old
if
man.
you love him, then after you watch that doc,
Oh,
you'll probably.
I loved him more before. It changed my whole perspective on him.
Oh,
watching
that's
Yeah.
so
the doc.
cool.
Yes.
Oh, that's so cool. So I've always been a Kanye fan. Always been a Kanye fan. Like his first few albums were so sick, and then 808 and Heartache came out, right? And everyone's like, "What the fuck? Kanye changed." And I thought that was the best Kanye I've ever seen because he was so
People love that
vulnerable.
record.
And then everything, like, so because he was doing a lot of what is it called? Not the vocoder,
Auto-tune.
but auto-tune. There we
Auto-tune.
go. So the whole thing was auto-tune, right? And people are like, well, it just feels so robotic. But he's such a fucking musician and a genius and a creative that he was able to make you feel, at least for me, like he was able to make me feel so sad. And like, I just felt so much on something so synthetic.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, that's so sick. Like, how
good
did he
point,
do this
actually.
shit?
I always
Wow, something
explain
so
that
synthetic.
album specifically. Yeah, obviously, like it, not too many people liked it, But
I love
it was so far ahead of its time that people go back and listen to him like, man, this is great.
Dude, Frank Ocean is another one of those that when he first came out, people were like, he's weird. And I'm like, bro, like he's
and then all of a sudden you just see this evolution happen where you're like, oh, they were right the whole time.
Yeah, people love him, right? Yeah.
I fucking love him. He's one of the ones that I can listen to all the time. 808 and Heartbreak.
What about Kid Cudi? I'm not really familiar with his stuff.
Not
I know
too
people
much.
love and respect him.
Yeah,
you like him, Chappelle?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool, but not really my vibe. I'm more of a J. Cole
Woo, thank you.
type of chick.
Yeah.
This is one thing I throw in Bart's face all the time.
I do love J. Cole.
He's so sick.
He's coming on tour this summer too. I saw that. Yeah.
Sick. I love him. I love what he talks about,
Me
what
too.
he represents. He's
I
so
agree with
fucking
you. And
stand up.
Kendrick, yeah.
Yes, Kendrick's another one. Have you heard the TikTok like when they break down like all of his music?
Who, Kendrick?
There's one.
Yes.
I think it was a song. I think it was a song he might have did with Pusha T or something. I can't remember. But they broke down his lyrics in a way to where you're like, what?
There's one that like involves like numbers.
Yes, it's that one. Is
that the one?
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, his new record's incredible. He's incredible. I love J. Cole. I love that he's in the Carolinas. He's off the grid. He's not really on social media. He focuses on his craft, what he sings about.
Those are my favorite artists, are the introverted ones.
Yeah, Kendrick too.
Yeah, Kendrick just like quiet, and then all of a sudden they just
boom put it out.
I love it.
Those are my favorites.
So what's your J. Cole thing with your husband you were saying?
Oh, so I was like, you got to listen to this guy. He's so fucking sick. And then he heard it and he was like, he's all right. And then like a couple months later, he's like, dude, J. Cole's the shit. And I'm like, I told you, motherfucker, he's the shit.
Yeah.
So to this day, I love rubbing it in his face. I'm like, oh, you thought he was okay.
Yeah, he's
so
incredible
petty.
live too, man.
Yeah. Do you know him?
No, but I know.
I feel like Toby would.
I know. I feel like you know everybody.
Yeah.
No, I wish. I love him though.
He's someone I wouldn't be shocked if he said he did.
No, I love J. Cole though. He's sick.
Yeah. He is
Love
sick.
him on the podcast.
Maybe he'll get J. Cole. Yeah, put that energy out there.
J. Cole, if you're listening, come through.
You know, he's doing his thing. But yeah, my son loves him too. We went and saw him a couple times live. It was great, man.
Sick.
I think he was on tour with maybe Kendrick or I don't know, with Drake or something.
You know who's really good live? Miguel. And I know it's kind of like takes a turn, but like vocally, have you guys heard him?
I heard Miguel before, yeah.
I wasn't really not into his music at all. I probably know like one song, but then I saw him live. I think it was called like God, I just went to the concert. It's called like Grooves something. It was like Nas, him. It was like a bunch of people like Erykah Badu. And yeah, he played and I'm like, I was going to skip his concert and go see someone else. And I'm like, oh shit, he's really fucking good live. Like his stage presence, everything. I'm like, this is an artist. LA.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Do people recognize you in real life from all the stuff you do?
Yeah. Yeah.
In Vegas too?
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, it is pretty rad. And like to this day, I'm just like, this is so odd. I'm like not used to it.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't waste your time. Like, go live your life. Don't worry. You're probably way cooler than we are. Don't. Yeah. I'm just like, really?
What happens all the time for you? Like the place you go to?
A little bit here and there. Yeah, it depends. So
especially you guys are all together too. They're probably like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting.
Think about this: if like a fan like legit hung out with us for a day, like I know as far as me, they would be bored as fuck. They'd be like, "You are lame, dog."
Yeah, all we do is
snacks
work.
in the house. We chill here. We look at the phone. We go get food down the street. We go hiking. We just chill in the air conditioning. We don't do shit, man. It's like, you know what I mean?
It's like that.
Like,
yeah,
they would be so bored.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Is your mom proud of all the stuff where you're at and everything? And
yeah. So my pop passed like a few years ago.
Sorry about that.
No, it's all right. It's part of life.
Mm-hmm. We talked about it's part of life. Yes.
Yeah, it's part of life. It was definitely unexpected, and it's definitely a bummer. But it needed to happen this way. For whatever reason, it needed to happen this way. And he was one of the relationships that was super turbulent. Like. We just did not. So we lived in the same house and we didn't talk for 4 years. Like we would have dinner together. Like let's say you're my dad and like you're my siblings. Let's say there's like salt right next to my dad. I'd be like, can you give me the salt, please?
Oh, damn.
It was so stupid. But because I was on this quest to fix every relationship in my life, before he passed, we were just so good.
Oh,
we had such a beautiful relationship. So when he left, it was like that's his time.
Wow.
But one of the things my dad has never said is like, I'm proud of you. Like he's not that guy. He's not like very emotional. It's more like he'll criticize and talk shit, and that's kind of it. You know, if he's not talking shit to you, then you're doing something right. But when I got married, like he hugged me and he started crying and he was like, I'm so proud of you. And I'm like, I told you, motherfucker, I'm the shit.
I told you.
I've been telling you this shit.
Face, dog.
Wow, you're bad. You missed out. No, but it was rad, you know?
Yeah,
so I think not to like not have that moment with my mom. But I just knew my mom has always like looked up to me because I think to her I represent what she always wanted to be, like someone that could like stand up for herself and speak up when she needs to and say fuck it, I don't need you, I'll do my own shit.
Create your own path and do everything. Yeah.
So like I feel like my mom's always kind of looked up to me in that regard. So I know she's always been really proud of me, even though I didn't take the path that she felt I needed to take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you took an amazing. I mean, your journey's amazing, man. Just
thank you.
It's so inspiring and awesome, and just
very inspiring.
Yeah, just taking the chance, just like quitting your job, 10 grand in the bank, move in with your man. What is this YouTube shit? Just create, have fun with your friends, and then it turns into like, it's awesome, man.
Yeah, I know. When I think about it, it's wild. It is wild. And I'm just so grateful to have experienced it up until this point.
Yeah. If I had to ask you what your job title would be, is it entrepreneur? Like, what do you consider yourself like? Besides a mom.
Yeah, an entrepreneur
mom.
For sure.
Yeah.
An entrepreneur. Right now I'm CEO of Barbell Brigade.
Yeah, it's awesome.
CEO of the fucking Kwan house. It's cool. Just an entrepreneur. Just like I just like doing fun shit.
And do you still you still think about creating more things all the time? And
yeah, for sure. Like we already know what we want to do. Say we either expand or we move away from Barbell. We already have like the next kind of ideas that we want to do. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. One of them is
you're
like
thinking ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we just have a lot of like fun shit we want to do. Like one of them is we just want to live in a van for a bit and just travel the U.S. and just like go in all the weird places.
That's cool. And
then document it because we want to remember it, you know. And if people want to watch, cool. Like sick. You guys want to watch.
Are you waiting till your son's a certain age to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
We'll see what the next few years look like, you know, like how school is out here and what happens out here, and then we'll just kind of take it one day at a time.
I love it. You just living your life. It's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, that's all I can do. That's all I know how to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then just kind of figuring it out as I go.
Well, awesome. Well, any more questions for this wonderful woman?
This was great.
This is amazing. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Let me check my notes to make sure I covered your life.
You got it. You got it.
No, I got all your shit.
No, you got it all.
I know. I really appreciate you.
You covered it.
This was awesome. An amazing conversation.
I'm honored to be with you guys. You guys are the ones doing some cool shit.
I'll try to.
What
are you looking at, Stella?
All my notes are covered.
You killed it.
Thank you. Where can people find you on the interweb? What's your name?
Well, first of all, go to barbellbrigade.com. You're going to find everything that you need fitness there. You're going to look rad. You're going to fucking wear the raddest clothes. You're going to have quality fucking supplements with like the highest ingredients we formulated ourselves.
You got vegan options for people like me?
We're working on it.
Okay, thank you.
We're working on it.
And they are working on it though.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Let's do a collab, man. Make my own little supplements.
That would be cool.
Sick.
Yeah,
okay,
I have it. I have it in here now.
Okay.
Yeah, Laura, you can find me just Geo Antoinette. Just Google that and it's not hard to find me.
So do you guys sell like the bars and the weights and everything?
No, not yet. No.
Sick.
We're not trying to get into that.
Because those are hard to find during the pandemic.
They were.
It was super hard to find any kind of workout benches, anything. Everything was sold out. And it was so expensive for everything.
It was
real
rough.
shit, man.
We were like training in our backyard with an Amazon thing. So like, I get it. No, we're not there. But
it'd be cool
we're not trying to do
have
that.
Your own like with your BB on it.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So that's where you can find me.
The world is yours, my friend.
Yeah. Thank you. The world is your guys' too.
Yeah.
That's the thing, man. For last thought.
Spit it, girl.
This whole scarcity mindset. We never need to have it. Like rising tides fucking raise all ships. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
Like I think that is the key, man. Like don't be jealous of other people. Just pursue you. Do your thing. And if you see someone else succeeding, make sure to help them and applaud and just fucking put your head down and keep working.
100%, man.
Yeah, there's
100%.
There's enough of this pie for everybody.
I want all my friends to succeed and be healthy and happy. I support all my friends. I want all of them to have great lives. Like, even though I know that friends can actually be jealous and hate on each other secretly, whatever, I keep it moving, stay in my lane, do my pod, hang out with good people. But I want all my friends to have successful, awesome lives. You know what I mean? Like,
there's enough for all of us.
Yeah. Right?
I don't. Yeah. I'm agreeing.
Chappelle, thank you for being here too, man.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, this is great.
I know you've done
Thanks
the
for
podcast game. The world's gonna miss you, but
thank you for coming out of retirement.
I don't mind doing this. I don't mind doing
this.
This is like simple. Like
this is
no
my kitchen
pressure
talking.
me.
Yeah, no cameras, no lights, no shit.
This is easy.
This is tight.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, best friends.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for listening. Please rate, review, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet to this podcast, please do that. And whatever platform you are listening to this on, I'm glad you found me. You can rate me and review me on there also. So thank you guys sincerely for the support. I cannot wait for you guys to the next one.